And starting out in goal for the visiting Lake Erie Monsters is a 21-year-old from Winnipeg, Calvin Pickard, as he comes into this game with a 7-7-0-1 record, a 2.71 goals against average. And in goal for the Rochester Americans is Matt Hackett, as Hackett sees the nets once again tonight. 23-year-old out of London, Ontario, and he enters this game with a 6-7-1-2 record, a 2.99 goals against average. Tonight's starting goalies brought to you by Tim Hortons, the official coffee and donuts of the Rochester Americans.
Well, our referees tonight, Darcy Burchill and Keith Cavell, and Peter Fiola and Jeff Walker are linesmen.
And the starters for the Lake Erie Monsters, beginning on defense, will be Matt Hunwick along with Michael Tam, and then the front line will be Paul Carey, Garrett Muirs, and Colin Smith. And up front for Rochester to begin the game on defense, Drew Bagnall along with Nick Tozzolino, and then up front we'll see the line of Colton Gillies, Joe Armia, and Matt Ellis. So there's your starters as they line up at center ice, and we're about to get underway. Matt Ellis stepping in for the draw for the Amerks against Smith, as the puck is dropped. We're underway at the frozen frontier. And it's dumped ahead, cleared into the Rochester zone again as a radio audience, at least that's to our right here in the first period, and cleared along the sideboards and brought away out to the blue line. Amherst can't escape. It's taken back and now pulled out to center ice. Put that on the right wing, a long shot in by Armia. That's deflected away and comes down in the corner boards and around behind the net. Chased after in the corner by the Monsters. Pulled out on the near side as Muirs unable to clear the zone. That's a long shot in, grabbed by Pickard, and he'll hold on for the face-off.
Again, he's trying to get this the jitters out of the game here for each line before they get on the ice. You know, it's a different experience for all these guys, and there are some pre-game jitters here, even though they've played a number of games. This is the 26th game for Rochester and the 25th for Lake Erie.
It's quite a mess at the top of the division. Just a point separating about the top four teams as the puck is cleared along the boards, out over the line, but knocked loose and recovered again. It's carried forward into the Amherst zone on the left wing side, moving in on goal, but unable to get a shot away. That's behind the net, coming out on the boards and a feet in front again. Hackett was screened in front by Wyman, but the puck is dumped around behind the net. Chased back, the Amherst getting a hold of it. As it's dropped along the sideboard, shoveled off the wall at the center ice by Larson. Unrecovered again by the Monsters. Turning back for it. Out in front is Lurg. Drops it back in his own zone. A long pass up the right wing to the Rochester blue line. Amerks take it away and a feed forward. That is in the Monster zone. Out in front, but knocked away. Amerks unable to get a shot away. As moving in on a Veroni, and it's down to the Rochester zone. Here to side. As Phil Veroni spins, but that one knocked away. Long shot in off the stick of Hackett. Comes down wide. In the corner to dig it loose is Over, laying it back to the left point. A shot in front. That's backhanded away and out the center ice. Here come the Amerks 2-on-2. In on the left wing side, but unable to get a hold of it is Veroni. And it's cleared out of the far wing, but still kept in. Monsters controlling. We're just getting underway. We've played short of 2 minutes in this game. A no score. On the right side to Over. Long shot in, booted away, and carried off by the Amerks. Cleared along the wall out of the zone. Face back is Baggio. And on the other side, a pass up the left wing board, just knocked down. Schaller trying to get loose. Still in skates and now cleared into the Rochester zone, and it's whistled down. As we'll have a stoppage of play back out at center ice. The gloves have been dropped. It is Hurd against Frederick Waugh. Waugh, the much smaller, coming through with the right hand. Hurd, he is trying to protect himself, giving the left jab. Waugh is trying to cover up and come back with a big right hand again, looking for the uppercut. Hurd and Waugh. There's Waugh with the uppercut. He's stunned. Hurd, and they go down. And Freddie Waugh, again, much smaller, but he got in some pretty good shots.
Well, Frederick Waugh, son of famed goaltender Patrick Waugh, who is known for his fisticuffs. Definitely at 5'10", 168, taking on Mitchell Hurd, 6 foot, 175. I think he got the better of him there. Scott Metcalf called that one right, as you're going to see here, out to the neutral, right near the neutral zone. The ice, the gloves come off. These two already got it worked out. It's off camera right now, but now they start coming in, and Waugh gets the sweater up over the head. He keeps pulling them. You can see a couple of left jabs with that hand that's got a hold of it, and eventually Hurd's sweater gets up over, and then Waugh starts to feed him the right. But Waugh tries to keep his distance as he definitely shows up 5'10", he's not going to take any back seats for anyone.
Even on penalties, and I don't know if that maybe is some payback for what happened a couple of games ago when Hurd sucker punched the defenseman Rasmus Ristolainen, who has been out, has not played since that night.
Yeah, he's out there suffering, whatever the issues are, but he's out right now.
Back to the line of Ellis at center, at Gillies on the left side as teams are at full strength, and it's shot behind the Amish net, cleared around the boards. That's still on the left wing side at the point, long shot in wide. And chased back by the Amish. In the corners they tie up, reaching in and spinning around Tuzolino as the puck slipped behind the net, back around the near board. That's dropped off in the corner, spun behind, Tuzolino chasing it down. Clears it along the right wing side, that's through and all the way down. No icing, waved off. Out of his net, Pickard plays to the side, but it's blocked into the side of the net, almost stuffed in. And the backboard's Gillies behind the net for Ellis. Turns it back at the left point where it's kept in. Got Duke on the right side. Long shot in by Ruido way high in the net. Blocked off of the backboards, ends up in the corner. This is still to Pickard's right, and the Hammers trying to dig it out. From behind the net. On the backboards and turning it behind. Pulled away on the far side. As out in front, Larson couldn't reach it. Spins around now on the right wing board. Return pass in front, shot in, but blocked away. And it comes down behind. Cleared around the wall, and it is now carried off into the corner. Hammers trying to get a hold of it. Gillies moving in. Swept away in the sideboards. That's pulled up, kept in, spin around, and a dribbler in on goal, but knocked aside. The Hammers do recover the puck. Goes to Duke, pinching down from the left point. Carries it off in the corner. As he turns there, looking for the pass out in front. Still draws it off of the backboards. In front, and a shot in. And when they score! Out in front. There is Ellis. Takes the shot, hits the lower corner on the wide side, just under the glove of Pickard. Again, the Hammers score first here tonight.
Well, definitely a big goal here. Lots of pressure inside the Lake Erie zone. They don't let him out, and they kept pressure down low, kept feeding the puck out. Matt Ellis backs up off the goal line and gets the pass out. No mistake on this one as he puts it in the low side. You're going to see it right here. You can see the play in behind, the pass out. Matt Ellis right there inside. He makes no mistake to bury that one and put Rochester up 1-0. Again, you can working the puck in behind. This is where Rochester has to do it. Ellis backs off that goal line.
Yeah, the Amerks seem to really love scoring the first goal these days, as they have now scored the first goal of the game the last 6 straight games and 7 of the last 8. Puck is in the zone. That's whistled down and stoppage of play. 16:08 to go in the first period. The Amerks have a 1-0 lead.
Well, Matt Ellis definitely, as he said, as the team captain, helped get his team going here with that early goal. Last night it was Tardif, or the other night it was Tardif against Lake Erie. Now it's Ellis. 2 veteran players getting their teams off on the right foot.
Turned back in the zone, cleared by Beaupre out to center ice. As that along the far boards is into the Rochester zone, breaking from the net. Is over out in front. His one-time shot is blocked away and carried around behind by the Amerks. Stood up there is Larson. The puck in the corner, reversed behind the net, and Amerks in their own zone was trying to get out of trouble here. Turned along the side boards. And, the Amerks, Rick, have been scoring the first goal a lot, but they continually allow the opposition to get back in. Last game, fortunately, they were able to come out with a win.
They definitely had. They had a 2-goal lead twice. And we got a big break.
In on goal, and it's tough in a tip, but blocked away by Pickard. Off with it again. Along the left wing side, down for the point. And is, by the way, I think there was Porter that tried that stuff in. And the puck pulled on the boards is in the air and all the way down to the Rochester blue line. Backward go the Amerks. Then along the side boards by Veroni to center ice. Knocked loose, and the loose puck recovered by the Monsters. Not taken right back, the Amerks have it. Bagnall in his own zone. Drops it off. Turned forward by Tuzolino. He'll work the right wing side to the red line and a long dump-in shot. Down behind that on the backboard, pulled away by Clark, one of the newer signed players by the Monsters, and the puck is now slipped in around behind the Rochester net. Stop there, Hackett backhands it in the corner for Tuzolino. Out to the point, but not out. Long shot in, that's wide, and it comes off of the boards, and the Amerks able to clear the zone. Head to center ice, almost skipping through. Was Moroni, but his skates ended up out from under him. He went down, and it's recovered by the Monsters. Shot into the Rochester zone. Hackett will clear it aside. Out along the boards, over the line to center right. Knocked down and returned in the Rochester zone. Amerks back for it with a 1-0 lead. Amerks having scored. Matt Ellis, the captain of the Amerks, with the goal. That's all the way down again and chased after him behind the Lake Erie net. On the backboards, Tam is tied up. As they have it in skates. Watching on in behind the net as the puck in the backboard is drawn out in front. Still being attempted. There's a shot, but that's deflected out of play. And that shot taken by Scheller. So a stoppage here as the puck is out of play. 14 minutes to go in the first period and a 1-0 Rochester lead.
You can see here the attack going on, but Porter going in there quickly, trying to make something happen. He comes over, puck just gets up on its end. You heard me talk about good luck, and the puck bouncing around. Look at that puck bouncing, and it's still rolling. Wasn't come down. Porter just couldn't get a handle on it. Had he done that, I think he would have had it around the pad for number 2.
Play picks up again in the Lake Erie zone. The puck out to center ice is dumped all the way down, and this will be an icing call, bringing the face-off once again back into the Lake Erie end of the rink. Agazino chasing, and watching on is JT Wyman.
Now we're just waiting for our point streak to our AHL site to update so we can get the official scoring on that goal, the assists on it.
Joe Armia lining up for the face-off is stepping in once again is Ellis as the puck is pulled to the corner boards. Gary's backhander across the goal mouth, and nobody there for the Amerks. Pulled away on the near side by Wyman, able to slip it out to center ice. That's batted loose, and the Amerks recover the puck at the blue line, but bounces loose, and now taken back by the Amerks. Ruedel up the right wing side, long feed forward, but knocked away, and the Monsters will turn it the other way. To the Rochester blue line, the Amerks have it. And on the near side, Jerome Gauthier to do. Dumping it down, Lake Erie zone, but the Monsters feed it to center ice, and it's chased back by the Amerks. Turning out in front of the net, and a pass up the left wing side, but spinning, unable to get away. As Sunder, it's in the zone along the near north. It's Armia now at the side of the net, and off the left pad, and Packard comes down behind. In the corner, cleared along the wall, and now slipped out of the zone to center ice. Taken back and shot in, and it's up and out of play. So as we have 13:01 to go here in period number 1, as you see the Monsters in their throwback jerseys enjoying the outdoor event here at the Frozen Frontier. 1-0 Amerks. This is the Amerks Broadcast Network. Each time the Amerks score in the power play this season, AT&T donates $25 to the Boys and Girls Clubs of Rochester. Program is powered by the Amerks and AT&T, the nation's fastest and now most reliable 4G LTE network. And the man with the best view in the ice, in the house, is down by the ice. That's Mike Catalana.
Hey, Don, the atmosphere down here is fantastic. This crowd got ready right away. The fight and the goal have helped, and the pace of play down here has been fantastic so far. We know these players are into it.
We can still see the lines. Rick, I was wondering how long it would be before the lines disappeared, but at least from up here we can still see the blue and red line.
I definitely can, but you can see there's also a lot of snow on it.
And it'll be swept forward and out to center ice by the Monsters, and that rolling in on goal will be smothered, held onto by Hackett. Right there is Muirs. As he's in Hackett's face, then gets bowled over. We're going to have a little discussion.
We know Muirs likes to go to the net. This whole Lake Erie team drives net. We saw that on Wednesday night, how many times they got into Hackett's face every time the puck went near him. And Rochester trying to be territorial and make sure it doesn't happen. Doesn't look like there's any penalties being called, but the face-off will stay in the end zone. As the puck comes in, you can see the rush coming down the wing. They put it in on. He hangs on to it. The dude guys tie up. And not much going on, but he's kind of sprayed the goalie with snow, and that's frowned upon. In fact, that's really a no-no to do the opposition.
And there's plenty of snow out there to work with.
Get a shovel.
As the puck is dropped, it's like that football game I saw there last weekend where guys, it was down in Philadelphia, I think, where guys were tackled. They were coming out, their whole helmet and face was full of snow.
Well, the camera guys that were covered in snow, I can just imagine what our guys upstairs would be like here tonight.
You know, those are the guys that deserve the hazardous duty, and maybe at some point we'll be able to get a shot of those guys up there tonight, but there's actually game cameras on the roof above us. You can believe that. Centering pass on in front, swept in behind the net by Hackett, and they tie up, and we'll have a stoppage of play.
And that came off there behind Hackett as he poke-checked the puck. As the puck was coming in on him, he poke-checked it into the corner, and he slid back, a little motion, and dislodged the net. Again, they don't have the normal pegs in it that when I was a kid that they used to have, they went right down on the ice. That wouldn't happen. Nowadays, they have these little almost toothpicks that go in to try and hold the nets on, and they're not that good at doing it, so we have a lot of stoppage of plays do it.
You can see Jerome Gauthier to Duke with the ear pads, but Matt Ellis doesn't have them. I said when he came off the ice at practice this morning, I said, aren't your ears frozen? He said, no, I don't even notice it.
Because they're numb.
Yeah, must be totally numb. So Ellis stepping in for the face-off against Ulver, and the puck is pulled to the side boards. It is now down ice, and back for it go the Monsters. Chasing first is Hunwick, gets to it. Backhands behind the net. as the Amerks will reach in and try and tie it up in the offensive zone. 1-0, the Amerks leading, having scored back at 3:36 of the first period. Still kept in the zone is jammed at, and finally it's over the line to center ice. Taken and shot back in. Behind his net, Pickard stops it for his defenseman Hunwick. Rings it around on the wing. That's knocked down and still kept in, chasing after it. Tardif. Backhander in front, but that's picked off as it rolls out top. Left point, Gutchin with a shot, missed the short side, and comes down behind the net. Stolen and chased after in the corner. Centering pass. And by Tardif all the way back at the left point is kept in again. On the sideboards. Reaching in, it's spun to the backboards. But it's recovered by the Monsters. And then flipped to the blue line, hauled down and kept in again. Nice job by Tardif. Takes a shot but blocked away. And that one is recovered and cleared out of the zone. Head to center ice, moving forward. Dumped to the Rochester zone by Trevor Cheek. And it's behind the Amerks net. Stopped there by Hackett. Left on the backboards. Amerks have it in their own zone. Head to center ice, and now out to center ice. Take it back and spun into the Rochester zone by Arsenault. It's recovered in the corner and a quick feed ahead. Here come the Amerks on the attack again. Allen got away, rolls to the Monsters, carried into the Rochester zone on the left wing side. Dumped in wide of the net, off of the backboards by Colin Smith, and it ends up in behind the Amerks net. They battle in the backboards once again. Still in skates. Coach Duke is there. Also watching on is Armia. And the puck is pulled around and in behind the net. Tied up Schumacher on the backboards for the Monsters. Somebody takes a run right there, and Armia missed, and he steps away with the puck. Out the center ice, brought forward. As that is pulled away once again, the Monsters have it. Down to the Rochester zone. Smith turns, trying to get a shot away. But he's tied up with the loose puck, is carried away. Out the center ice, up the left wing. Gillies, not too far for him. Recovered again by the Monsters, and as they turn and dump it in behind the Amerks net. Shot by Hackett around the boards. And out to the blue line area, still spun in the zone, and then flipped high in the air, coming down at center ice. Take it away. Rochester zone, turn to center ice again. Just out of the reach of Tardif, coming now stepping up on it. It's Larson with a long shot, blocked away by Pickard. High in the air, comes down, and it's still in the zone, but now carried away to center ice. And Lake Erie will move it in the Rochester zone. This will be all the way in to the side of the Amerks, down the backboard. Go the Amerks. The whistle stops play. Stoppage of play here, a 1-0 lead for the Rochester Americans over the visiting Lake Erie Monsters here at the Frozen Frontier. And this is the Amerks Broadcast Network. Well, the Amerks are leading 1-0, but they're going to be shorthanded as Matt McKenzie is in the box. 2 minutes for interference, Rick.
Well, there used to be a time you could get in front of the guy. The puck is dumped in. You can see him push there. Down he goes, and the arm goes up. It's an interference call on Matt McKenzie. Be the first power play of the game. We're going to see the 7th-ranked power play, which is Lake Erie, going against the 27th-ranked penalty killing of Rochester. Last game, they went 1 for 3 on the power play.
As Agazino shoots in, that's Agazino with the draw rather on top and a long shot in, hits the corner, and a power play goal immediately. The Monsters come right back.
Well, the face-off is back to the point. Agazino gets this shot. He makes no mistake putting in past the catching glove of Matt Hackett. The shot from the point comes in, and it's pretty strong in there, Mac. I'm not sure if that was Agazino or Oliver.
Well, Agazino took the face-off.
There it comes. As we'll see it here. Oliver comes back to him. He takes the shot, and he beats Hackett. Looks like Hackett may have been off on his angle. Comes right off the point and goes in. But I don't know if it was tipped or there or not, but we'll find out when they announce it.
As the puck is down ice, and now the whistle to stop play. We're mixing it up back out around the blue line. A couple of penalties might be called here, and so the tempers are getting a little short, even though it is rather cool out this evening.
They're showing Oliver getting the goal here as he gets this one for here, and that's his 5th goal of the season. As we got some more stuff going on. See the referee out in center ice. We're looking at center ice as the referee's got his arm up in the air, signaling no more changes. Face off down into the Lake Erie zone to the right of Calvin Pickard.
And each team skating 4 sides, so coincidental penalties. 9:18 to go in the first period. We're even at 1. At the right point, long shot in, and it's blocked away into center ice. On the attack, here come the Monsters, 2-on-2, reaching in to knock it away is Ruido. Now behind the Rochester man on the backboards, Bagnall ties his man up, slams into the backboards, the loose puck carried away. And to center ice, Rochester on the attack, in over the line. Working off on the right wing side of the corner. Centering pass, but behind the net comes off on the near wing. As they spin around the sideboards, Porter digs it out. Porter on top to the right point. Ruido winds up, long shot, knocked down, big rebound. Amherst can't get to it. Tardif reaching in, knocks it back at the point, but it's over the line to center ice. Amherst recovering the puck. And right back in the zone, drop pass at the point. Moving down the sideboards, but unable to get away. Got to Duke, and it's pulled ahead out to center ice once again. Monsters have it, don't put in, there's a penalty coming up. As the Amherst touch the puck, the whistle blows, and this is going to be a holding penalty coming up to Rochester.
Well, not something Rochester wants to get into. A penalty battle here is they have been on the losing end of it in 4 periods of hockey now. As we're seeing going to the bench now will be Crawford. This time another defenseman. Last time it was McKenzie. This time it's Crawford. But coming down the side boards, you can see here, look, just reaching in. Stick got stuck under the arm around Oliver and reaching in with the other arm. And referee puts the arm up. And second power play opportunity for Lake Erie. They wasted no time in the last one to tie it up. Rochester will have to start by winning this draw to take some pressure off themselves and then clearing it down.
And you know this Mark Oliver, the 25-year-old from Burnaby, British Columbia, he's very dangerous on the power play as he comes up with that goal on their first goal. And then last game, he had 1 goal also in that game, which was a power play goal. And the puck in the Rochester zone. A lot of room to skate out the back door. They shoot and score. Breaking in off the left wing side is taken and heard. It looks like, no, that is rather Hunwick. Hunwick from the back post puts it high under the crossbar, and another power play goal. The Monsters take the lead.
Well, the face-off is one to the corner, but then they feed the back door, and Hunwick comes down from the point. The left point defenseman, he comes down, and you're going to see it here as the face-off's there, pushed down, and then just they bang it around the corner, little room to stand there, and Hunwick comes in. Nobody's looking behind. Hunwick comes in all alone. And the penalty killers don't see it. You can see, look at that, Hunwick all alone and coming across. Again, could be the ice that stops Hackett from getting across as fast as he normally would, but the door was open.
So the Amherst trailing now comes out in front, a shot that's deflected away. As getting actually it's caught by Pickard. He holds on for the face-off.
Now 2 power play goals have put Lake Erie up on top 2-1 here with 8:07 remaining. But Rochester coming right back, trying to get a scoring chance here. Shot coming in, and Pickard grabs that one. 21-year-old Calvin Pickard from Winnipeg, Manitoba answers the call.
Mike Zigomanis right in his face, but couldn't get a hold of it. Now he's turned back in the zone. Spinning around, Carl Stollery out of Camrose, Alberta. Head to center ice and to the Rochester blue line. Taken by Wyman, able to backhand it in. That around behind the Amherst head. Backcourt, Gauthier to Duke again. Spins it off in the far corner. Ruido chasing, but doesn't get to it. That's kept in by the Monsters. Dropped off of the backboards. And Ruido will cycle it behind for Gauthier to Duke. Earns it along the near side. Feeds up the wall, but spinning back in the zone. And coming away now is Phil Veronic. Works his way to center ice and ahead on the left wing side. In over the blue line. Trying to feed in front, but blocked away coming down the far corner. As it spins the corner boards and pass on in front, but blocked away. Taken once again by Zigomanis. Turns, cycles it behind the net. Maroney runs into a body and goes down. The loose puck is carried away. On behind the net, Clark will bring it forward. He's got a little history under his belt. That's 17th year. Puck behind the Amherst net, turn around the wall. That dropped back again by Porter. In behind the net for Tuzolino, and off on the near side, it's taken again and shoveled up the left wing. To the blue line, but not out. Blocked ahead. Now it's over the line to center ice. As they feed forward, that's out of reach and all the way down. Pickard draws it behind his net. Monsters have it. Cleared around the near wing. We're down to 6:45 to go. In period number 1. And it's a 2-1 lead for the Monsters. Got around the boards. Ahead to center ice. Slip forward. And out of the reach of Porter. But it is hammered in. Porter will chase. In behind the net. Lurg back. Draws it off in the corner. Spun behind once again. To the other side as they play catch in behind the net. Pass of the slot brought forward. Here come the Monsters on the attack. Ahead on the right wing, and it's in the Rochester zone. Turning back for it, Bagnall. Down behind his net, tied up by Lurg, and it's cycled in behind for Tuzolino. He'll cycle it around the left wing boards. Spun out to center ice. Ahead on the right wing, in over the line, but stumbling and going down, but getting back up Tardif. Backhands it behind the net, all the way around the near side. Down for the left point, blocked by Scheller behind the net. To the other wing once again. Spun ahead and out over the line to center ice. Amherst recover it. Turning in the sideboards, trying to get away. That's taken and dumped in by Catanacci, and in the corner now from behind the net. It'll be carried away. On the wing and shot down the Rochester zone. Back goes Ruedel. Being chased. Double teamed almost. Knocked away. The Amerks have it again. Feed ahead on the right wing. Out of reach and back for it. It's recovered by the Monsters. Spun off on the near side up the right wing. Long feed forward by Tam is through everybody in down. And the Amerks back for it. Turned the backboard for Ruedel trying to get away. Cleared around the wall. And a feed up the slot is brought forward by the Amerks. Working wide on the right side in the zone. Out front, quick shot, he knocked down. That one spurts wide, backhander. The net is knocked off. His play continues. Not the whistle now will stop play, but the net had been knocked off, and so the Amerks couldn't get a hold of it. Well, we have a 2-1 score as the Lake Erie Monsters have come back with a pair of power play goals to take the lead. This is the Amerks Broadcast Network. Face off. Deep in the Lake Erie zone as Zigamanis in for the draw. That's pulled out top, and then it's away to center ice, and it'll be chased back by the Amerks. Getting to it, Ruedel's first man back as he turns to avoid a hit from Arsenault. Comes out in front of the backhand, and then it's knocked off once again. And a stoppage of play as we get some pushing going on. Maggio of the Monsters and doing some shoving.
Arsenault's getting involved in there a little too.
That's
as they
what
look
Gauthier
around.
to do.
Looking in there, Maggio at 6'3", 202 pounds. The 22-year-old from Windsor, Ontario. Was Lake Erie last year, also with Bridgeport and Fort Wayne. But as they come into the net, they crash the net. Traffic goes around. That puck, the puck gets in there, and you can see them coming in from the side. And that's when the net came off. And Veroni and Maggio are the ones that actually started off in there, as Veroni retaliates on Maggio, but no penalties are being called, and the faceoff will stay in the Rochester zone to the left of Matt Hackett.
Well, I think the penalties were called.
Or were they called?
Well,
I didn't see them go.
You know what? We can't see in the penalty box, can we? There's signs right behind the players, but I see a stick in the penalty box here.
There's one on either side,
and I think
too.
I see a helmet on the other side.
Well, either way, both teams have, I'm going to say 5 players on the ice. I see, no, 4.
Should be 4 for each
4
side.
and 4 for each side.
Looks like coincidental minors.
As they come out to bring the shovel out here, yeah, we can see there's Phil Veroni. He's the one that started off, and Maggio will probably be on the other side. But they bring the shovel out in the bucket around the side of the Rochester net, and doing a little ice repair there to try and keep these pegs in there to keep the net secure.
Well, it seems to be that's the biggest problem right now, is keeping the net in place. As we get finally a look at the penalty box and see Maggio of the Monsters in the box.
Now, Rochester again, 3:57 remaining, trailed by 1, 2-1 here, 2 power play goals.
Now the Amerks return indoors at the Blue Cross Arena on December 18th. That's next Wednesday as they take on the Toronto Marlies. Get out to the Blue Cross Arena and get your tickets right now for the next home game, December the 18th. 5 days away. Once again, you look at the Rochester bench and the coaches in behind, full contingent.
Just so you know, on these benches here at both ends, if you can imagine a workplace salamander heater, there's one at each end of the bench, and that's all they have to heat. So,
you know, talking to the guys who were out skating in the media game the other day, they said, while you're out on the ice, it's fine. And the problem is when you go sit down, especially when the wind was blowing in their face, it became a bit of a problem. But you know what? It doesn't look like there's much wind out here tonight. You look at the flags in the outfield that we're getting at a baseball stadium, and they're hanging fairly limp.
They definitely are, so we'll have to wait and see what happens as it picks up as the game goes on.
And the Lake Erie net brought away by the Monsters. Lauritsen pass on the near boards as it's dumped in behind the Amerks net. They tie up and trying to pull it away from Carey, but Carey steals it, feet in front, shot up, point blank range on his knees. Hackett makes the stop and holds on.
Now the pass out from behind and right in front. Hackett has to come up with a big save as they're standing right on the doorstep. They get that shot away, but Matt Hackett closes it and denies them. You'll see the puck come out of the back boards. One guy standing in front all alone. Nobody's really picking him up right there and just has that time to get that shot away. And that's the guy we talked about at the start of the game, Brian Lurg, getting that shot.
Play picks up again. Back for it go the Monsters in their own zone. Spun around behind the net, coming down in the corner as the Amerks reaching in, trying to keep them tied up in the offensive zone. That's turned to the corner, but pulled away by Lake Erie. Head to center ice. The Monsters on the attack. Wyman shovels it forward in the Amerks zone, and now a race in the corner for it. As Crawford is back for the Amerks. Able to turn it around behind. Go to the Duke on the other side. He'll turn away. He'll retreat behind the net again, giving it off. Crawford, right back. Go to the Duke. From the right side, a return pass. Crawford up the left wing. He'll enter the zone along the near boards and now slip it off the wall and behind the net. Back go the Monsters. A hit on the back boards. Puck coming down in the corner. Turned around the wing, and now it's over the line, and backward go the Amerks. Chased down in the zone by Ruedel. Now behind his net, he'll reverse it in the near corner after McKenzie. To the point, but not out. Still blocked and kept in, and ends up in the corner once again. As they spin there, puck in skates, pulled out on the sideboard, slipped to the slot, and ahead to center ice is Armia. 1-on-3. Armia by himself trying to catch up on the play. As he turns around the sideboards, here's Zigomanis. Out top of a one-time shot, but knocked down in front. And the loose puck is slipped over the line to center ice. Amerks have it, pulled right back in. However, recovered by Lawrence in his own zone, and now sends it up the wall out of the zone. Over at center ice. Cross rink. Here come the Monsters. Entering the zone, weaving his way top of the slot, picked away. And off the stick of Cheek. And now out to center ice. Amerks after it, getting tied up in front of the player benches, but pulled away. The Amerks have it. Had to slow up at a man in the zone. Now it's dumped in and chased after in the corner by Schallert. Centers it across. And behind the net, far point kept in again. Dumped in behind. Schallert on the backboard reaching in. As it's pulled out to the left point area. Still kept in by Bagno. And now it's over the line. And the Amerks dump it back in. Evidently did not come out over the line. As they crash to the corner boards. Puck is underneath skates and trying to dig it loose. And behind, Waugh sends it behind the other side. Back at the right point, kept in. Long shot from there, knocked down. And the rebound pulled aside is over the line to center ice. Back go the Amerks with a minute to go in the period. Shot in again. Turning back for it around behind the net. Carried away by Stollery. Long pass up the right wing, and it's then dumped the rest of the way down. Back go the Amerks. Down behind his net, taken by McKenzie. Out the right side, headbands it up the right wing boards. Slipped in over the line, trying to get loose. Chasing after the sideboards as Larson is back at the point, kept in. Larson again able to backhand it in behind the net. Out over the backboards, in behind. On to the corner and spun out on the near side, but still kept in at the left point. Long shot in, dribbles toward the net, knocked down and comes down behind. Cardiff trying to get a hold of it. Back at the point, moving in. A shot across the goal mouth. Knocked down in front. Loose puck is swept aside. Now for the point. Moving in on it, kept in, and it's dumped to the corner boards. Tardif will then bring it out top to the left point. Long shot from there, hits something, it's knocked away, and here come Lake Monsters. 2-on-1, pulled in over the line to Wyman, takes a shot, kick save, Hackett, and the rebound pops up in the air, comes down behind as the buzzer sounds, and that ends the first period of play. So the Amerks again, as usual, got off to the early lead, but once again, it's the penalties that caused the problem as they gave up 2 power play goals against, and they trail right now, Rick.
Yeah, it definitely does, and I think the ice had a lot to do with it because before the power play started for Lake Erie, a lot of the traffic was in the Lake Erie zone, and that flustered the ice, that made it soft and a lot of snow. There wasn't as much in the Rochester zone, so those passes were that much better for them on the power play.
Now, it's kind of interesting watching the players as they come off the ice. They take a little bit of time getting off the ice and getting back on because they're putting skate guards on. They got a long walk along those rubber mats that go down through the dugouts and all the way up inside to the baseball clubhouses. So they have to put the skate guards on every skate, and it just takes them a little time to get on and off the ice.
Well, it does. Going down those steps, I noticed yesterday when we were on them that there was rubber on them, but it doesn't cover the whole step. And the last thing you want to do is catch one of those concretes and have a nick in your blade and not know it until you get on the ice the next period, and all of a sudden you got to go get your skate done. And taking your skates off when the weather and your feet are this cold and trying to put one back on, probably one of the worst things you could ever experience.
Yeah, not only that, but there's people are walking on those things in their regular shoes, and might be a little sand and grit in their shoes, which would affect the skate blade. All right, let's send you downstairs right there by the entrance and exit for the Rochester Americans is Mike Catalana.
Yeah, we're with Jamie Tardif, been one of the hottest players on the team. Jamie, first of all, what's it like out there in this first period?
It's just trying to take in all the atmosphere, and there's been quite the build up here. So I think we're just trying to enjoy it, but at the same time, there's still a big 2 points on the line here tonight.
Well, talk a little bit about the way it was for you. You can prepare for it, you get out there and skate, but was the first period action-wise like you expected it to be?
I think so. I think at the end of the day, we just got to keep things simple. I mean, both teams are doing the exact same thing. You get the red line, you chip it in and keep chasing after it. And, the puck's bouncing everywhere. So everyone's on the same playing field. That's bad for both teams, but, it was a good first period.
Couple of power plays for them really hurt you. They got a couple of quick goals on you.
I mean, yeah, at the end of the day, it's been one of our faults this year at times. It's taken too many penalties, but a night like tonight, it's just keep it simple, get everything on net, and hopefully we get a couple chances ourselves.
So now as you go to the second period, as you head to the dugout to get ready for the second period, what are your thoughts going into this next period?
Like I said before, just keeping it simple. Now that the first period's over, everyone's kind of got their bearings, everyone's used to everything, so now it's just about playing hockey and having fun.
All right, you got a little bit of a walk. We'll let you get going, get ready for the second period.
I appreciate it. Thank you.
All right, Jamie Tardif and the Amherst trailing it right now by a score of 2-1.
So here we go now as the Amherst will shoot to the net to our right. Ellis stepping in, wins the draw, and it's cleared forward into the, along the center ice area. Now turned back in behind the Rochester net. Soft to the backboards. They crash in behind. The puck comes down and stepping up, or it is Tuzolino able to slide along the boards and out to center ice. Shot in. After Darmy in the corner. That's behind the net as they tie up at the backboards and ends up on the other side. Long feet on top. Ellis pulls it down, keeps it in. Shot wide of the net, comes down behind again. On the backboards, reaching in as Ellis couldn't reach it. Cleared along the boards and now brought forward by the Monsters to center ice. Pumped away. That carried in over the line. Ahead of the play. Carey is offside, so the whistle stops play, and we'll have a face-off coming up at the Rochester blue line. Just getting started in the second period, and a one-goal lead for the Monsters.
Well, again, they get up there on that rush and, trying to hang on to that puck a little bit, and you chop it over to the guy next to you, and he may be a couple inches behind you, throws yourself offside.
As the puck dropped, taken by the Amherst, Ruedel giving it off. And slipped along the boards and down to the Lake Erie blue line, trying to pull it away. Larson gets tied up in the sideboards, and that is drawn ahead into the Rochester zone, and turning back for it once again goes Ruedel. He's spun out and taken down, and the Monsters up with the puck. Agazino behind the net. Out in front, tried to jam it. That's another shot in. That's knocked down. They hack away at the side of the net. Hackett on his knees has it. Now it's poked loose and behind the net and recovered. Cleared around the wall, but still not out. Down for the point. Stoller with a shot in, tipped wide, and finally the Amherst are able to bring it away. Cleared high in the air to center ice. Bouncing away from Tardif, chasing after it. As he in the forecheck, chasing after by Stollery. Stollery in behind the net, trying to escape, and he'll cycle it around the left wing side. Over the line, Agazino's wiped up the sideboards by Porter, and the Amherst chase it back. Getting to it around behind the net. It'll be brought away. Cleared by Crawford all the way through. Ahead to the far blue line, into his own pass to Zigomanis with a shot off the shoulder. Up Pickard comes down wide and behind. Run around behind the net, end of the backboard. Zigomanis turning it behind once again. They'll try and bring it out the near wing. Had this game-winning goal when these two teams met 2 nights ago. Zigomanis behind the net in the other corner. Now a penalty coming up to the Monsters. Tripped up and taken down is Zigomanis, and the whistle stops play, and it's going to be a holding penalty coming up to Lake Erie.
Well, Zigomanis using that body to protect that puck out there, and Rochester's power play was third the other night. They've dropped to 5th, but they're still in the top 5, and they're going to be facing the 10th best penalty killing unit in the AHL as the faceoff remains in the end zone to the right of Calvin Pickard. What you're going to see here as they work that puck around, Mike Zigomanis' arm gets around, and he's trying to get away, and he finally does, but he hangs onto it and just works it back and forth till he draws the penalty.
So Rochester's first power play opportunity. Trailing 2-1. Drawn back at the point. Now to the other side. One-time shot. It dribbles off a stick, and the shot coming from Crawford. So held on to.
They work the puck off to the sideboards, and the puck just winds up dribbling towards Pickard, and he hangs on to it, so the faceoff will slip to the other side, to the left of him, and still in the Lake Erie zone.
Amherst power play brought to you by AT&T. It's pulled back at the right point and kept in. That shot in, but wide, comes down behind. Actually, Pickard, I don't think he knew where the puck was or lost sight of it. In the corner boards and around to the point again. Hacked at, dumped behind the net. The other corner, chased after, Tardif getting to it. That pops up in the air. Porter reaching in, comes to the slot, and now carried away by Lake Erie. Pass on the right side. Carried it over the line by Hunwick, able to dump it in behind the Rochester net. Turning back for it, go the Amherst. That's almost taken away, but escaping is Crawford. He'll bring it ahead. Shovels it forward to center ice for Veroni. Picks up speed as he enters his zone. Then he runs into a body and the puck rolls loose. And Smith will turn it. Shoots it to center ice. Amherst take it right back again. Spin around in front of the player bench. Nifty move by Ruedel, but can't get away. And it rolls out to center ice. Amherst have it. Crawford, feed forward, Veroni takes it, drops it off, turning, trying to get away. Zigomanis pulls it in over the line, but that's knocked away. And take it again and shot in. On the backboards comes loose. Veroni's pass off a leg. Comes out top of the slot, kept in. Turning his Gillies, gets a shot away, but that's wide. And pulled out with the sideboards. And finally dumped away and down ice again by the Monsters.
Now Rochester looking for some flow on this power play. They're trying to get something going from the middle zone, and a lot of guys are standing still. They need flow like they have right now.
Half a minute to go in the power play. Army up the right side. That's pulled away off his stick and cleared out of the zone. Backboard go the Amerks once again. Down the eye of the net, Hackett shovels a backhander into the corner, and it'll be brought away by the Amerks. Working up ice wide on the right side. Gillies over the blue line. Turns on the near side, spins it behind the net, but the other corner is recovered. Now taken away from Clark, throwing on top. The Amerks keep it in, moving in, goes in and in with a shot knocked down in front, and that's knocked away, and then cleared the length of the ice. Back for the Amerks. As the penalty expires, McKenzie has it in behind his own net. It's still 2-1 for the Monsters as the Amerks are 0 for 1 on the power play. Turned into the Lake Erie zone around behind the net as they get all tied up at the backboards and pulled away by Hudwick. Monsters have it, of course. The Lake Erie Monsters top farm team of the Colorado Avalanche. Dumped in the Rochester zone and turning back for it. McKenzie rips it around the boards and out on the wing, but not out. Shot behind the Amerks net. To the other side, of course, Rochester Americans top farm team of the Buffalo Sabres. And the puck played along the boards is still kept in. To the corner, spun back at the point. Not out. As it's jammed up in the sideboards, and now it's stripped away, but out of play. So the play is whistled down as we have a stoppage here. 15-19 to go in the second period, and still a 2-1 lead for the Lake Erie Monsters.
Now Rochester trying to become a little more aggressive. They started out the first period, the aggressors, and created a lot of opportunities and took the early lead. But then 2 goals kind of backed them up a little bit, and now they're trying to get some aggression going again so they can continue to take the play to Lake Erie. But Lake Erie's not giving up.
Zigomanis for the drop, but that's kept in by the Monsters. And in the left wing corner, pulled away by Smith. He'll cycle it back in the corner again. Dropped off of the backboards as they bump, and finally it's pulled away, and up ice comes for Weedle. To the red line. He's been on quite a tear lately. A long shot in, but that's grabbed and held onto by goaltender Pickard for the face-off.
Well, Pickard not venturing too far out of his blue paint at all as he takes this shot off the right wing side and just hangs on to it. Make sure there's no rebound there, as that's always dangerous to a goaltender, especially in a cold environment such as this. But you're going to see coming down the right side, they just get the puck to the net, trying to get some traffic there. Guys are looking for that puck. Zigomanis coming in a little higher in the slot, but there's nothing there as Sunder heads there too.
That's cleared high in the air and down. Back go the Amerks. Trailing 2-1. We've played just over 5 minutes of the second period. Spun around the boards, but not out. Pops up in the air. As the puck comes out of the sideboards once again, is finally out to center. No, still kept in. Working in on the left wing, Agazino with a shot. That went bouncing on in front. Loose puck in front of the net and covered up and brought away by Rochester. Head to center ice. Hard of giving it off, continuing on over the line, but taken away in the other turn. And out of the Rochester zone, in on the left wing, Agazino shoots it in wide of the net. He has 2 assists in the game already, assisted on both the goals. And it's cleared behind the Amerks net, but the whistle has stopped play. Out at center ice, players getting tied up, was taken down, was Larson.
It's going to be a holding call, and looks like Lurg is getting the gate here. 2 minutes, the captain for the Lake Erie Monsters, as he picks up his stick, and no, he's not. It's actually Rochester getting the call. We're going to see a replay here right at it as it happens here. Right at center ice, you can see just reaching in. Yep, there it is. Reaching in. He's got, Lurg should have one for holding on to his arm. He locked down against him, and then he knocked Rochester player down, but Rochester getting the only call here. So Lake Erie having their 3rd power play. They're 2 for 2 back in the first period.
So, certainly we've talked about before, the Amerks don't want to take penalties in this one against Lake Erie.
Well, again, they've got to look at this and have their head on a swivel inside their own zone and pick up the men in behind in that. You know, it's very positional as they move that puck around for that back door.
This Amerks penalty kill is brought to you by Remax. Nobody in the world sells more real estate than Remax.
Face off back into the Lake Erie zone.
Veroni stepping in for the face-off against Smith. And it's taken from the draw by the Monsters. Side of his net now carried forward by Stollery. On the right wing side, continuing forward, pass back on the left wing, off the stick of Muir's in behind the Amherst net. Hackett is able to flip it off into the corner. As they tie up on the sideboards, it's out top, still kept in by Smith. Throws it to the right point and kept in. As the Monsters setting up here on the power play. Pulled out in front, backdoor side, but that is deflected away up into the mesh and out of play over the glass.
Now what happened, that low guy on that panel that got the cross pass there, Smith, and it went up over his stick and into the netting, but you know, they got to make sure that back door is closed, cut that pass off and be a little closer to him. You can see the defender out here. That's when the defenseman has to come down to help out a little bit more so, and so does the forward. They just play as a little tighter unit, but they're coming across the back, goes over the stick of Smith and into the netting up high. Great camera work there to see that.
And an excellent job by McKenzie as he gets a piece of it that's hacked along the sideboards, but then popped in behind the Amherst net. Bagnall will dig it out. Up the wall, jammed along the wall and out of the zone. But that's out of play, so another whistle, another stoppage of play. Actually, the puck's still there. Must have hit somebody on the bench.
The puck hit somebody on the Rochester bench. And even though Rochester's killing the penalty, it's going to come back into the Rochester zone to the left of Hackett.
Chad Ruedel is really on a roll. A 4-game point string coming into tonight. A goal and 4 assists. Last 8 games has 7 points. As he's turning it into a pretty good season right now.
Well, definitely. He's been a nice addition to this team here. He quick skater, good with the puck.
And so much is now resting on his shoulders with Braden McNabb being recalled by the Sabres. Cleared back at the point and kept in. Along the right wing side, still in the power play. As it's dumped down the corner and Lurd chasing after it. Got to watch for Olver. He seems to be the one that does most of the damage. He gets a hold of it out at center ice. Actually, that's Clark, isn't it? Up the right wing side and shot in around behind the Amherst net. Olver ordinarily playing the point on the power play. As the puck is through to center ice. Recovered by Clark, beginning to bring it forward. Brett Clark, 36-year-old from Saskatchewan. Played for the Minnesota Wild last year as the puck is jammed along the wall and all the way down. Back for it, the Monsters. Pulled along the boards as we're down to just over 20 seconds or so remaining in this power play. That went pop loose coming out of the near boards and taken by the Emerson. Shot in again. After it, the Monsters round behind. Big hit issued on the backboards as Hunwick is slammed up against the backboards, and the puck now is fed forward to the Rochester blue line. That's out of the zone, back in, and an offside whistle. So a nice check right there by the Amerks as Trevor Cheeky looks on. He's one of the players that has previous experience in an outdoor game. Trevor Cheek, he was with Calgary in the Western League. As we see the hit issued right there by Matt Ellis, and the other Lake Erie players. As that was Waugh with the hit. The other Lake Erie players that have had previous outdoor experience, Paul Carey, 2 games with the Boston College, and Matt Hunwick, a game with the Boston Bruins. Well, Mike Zigomanis, the only Rochester player with outdoor experience, played with the Toronto Marlies in a game in Hamilton back in 2012. Hack for it, the Amerks. Cleared along to center ice and all the way down by Gotcha-Dukin on goal. And now we're going to have a penalty coming up to Rochester as Larson in behind takes down Stollery going for the puck. And the Amerks, it looks like they're going to be short-handed once again. Already trailing 2-1 in this game. Another power play opportunity coming up for the Monsters, and this is the Amerks Broadcast Network. Well, the Amerks will be short-handed once again. Larson in the penalty box, couple of minutes for holding. That's actually his 3rd minor penalty of the game.
Yeah, definitely. I thought he was going to get the other way because the guy was holding him out. That didn't look like a hold to me, reaching around to him. I thought that was not a very good call as Carl Stollery able to get around. He's blocking out Larson from getting to the puck, and that should have been more of an interference as far as my estimation goes. But I'm not the one with the stripes. I'm not the one with the whistle. Rochester has to kill their 4th power play here now for Lake Erie.
And the face-off to Hackett's left as the whistle stops play right off the hop here. And it's going to be a penalty coming up. Might be going the other way.
It is. It's a tripping call as the puck was won back, and it looks like Carey's going to be going to the gate as he gets 2 minutes here for tripping. As off the face-off was won by Lake Erie. Jumping through on the play, you can see, look at the stick got in there, and the feet came out, the arm went up right away, so that power play lasted all of 2 seconds. You know, it's damaging to the statistics, the percentages when you only get 2-second power play. But Rochester now play 4-on-4.
So Carey in the box. Each team a man short. A lot of skating room out there right now. As the puck pulled forward, the Amerks back for it. Turning away, here's Gauthier Duke, works the left wing boards. Able to shovel the backhander in, then gets squeezed out on the sideboards by Agazino. As they move in, and on the backboards, trying to pull it loose and behind the net. And Veroni gets tied up, and that's drawn away out of the near side. Zigomanis chasing around behind the net. It's in the other corner. Played behind once again. Blocked around the boards, and now it's over the line and out to center ice. Head up the left wing, Agazino enters the Amerks zone. Took a shot but knocked down, gets another one. This one missed the short side, comes down behind the net. Zigomanis drawing it off of the backboard. Ruido takes it, sends it the other way around the near side for Gauthier to do, but can't clear. Still kept in, pulled out of the corner. On the near side, spinning back on top, Lurg, top of the slot. Pass off on the left wing side for Stollery. Shot across the goal mouth on the other side. From the other wing, they score. A shot in from the right point as it's ripped up under the crossbar. Now it's a 3-1 lead for the Monsters.
Well, coming down that right wing side, coming in from that point is Muirs, and he one-times it up over the shoulder. Looked like of Hackett, but the first shot by Stollery from the left side missed the net, went around the far side, and just walking into it was Muirs, and he just teed that one up. As Hackett looks disgusted, he's looking up the monitor to see if he can watch it. But up over the short side, over the glove of Matt Hackett as he comes across, you can see just walking in that, and he makes no mistake of it. Lake Erie now up 3-1.
I think Muirs came right off the bench, breaking for the net, and he got the puck right on his stick. So you talked in the pregame about the lucky breaks or whatever, and that certainly they made their own break right there.
Absolutely.
Odd forward, out to center ice of the Amerks for the first time, trailing by 2. That rolls down to the Rochester zone, drawn away, but shot in, knocked down again, and the puck is along the sideboards, recovered by the Monsters at center ice. On feed forward, on the left wing, and a shot in. That one is high, but grabbed by Hackett, and he holds on. So as we have now 10:28 to go in the second period, it's Lake Erie on top 3-1.
Well, Muirs gets his third goal of the season there, and that made it 3-1 for Lake Erie, and the faceoff's going to be coming back into the Rochester zone to the right of Matt Hackett. Both teams still for 4-on-4 for another 30 seconds. Then Rochester will have a 2-second power play.
And the puck drop. And still in behind the Rochester net. Carried off the backboards, but Ellis can't escape. Bagnall with it. As he's chased there, able to clear it away and out to center ice. All the way down. Down behind the net is the Monsters. Oh, there's a body goes flying, and a penalty coming up to Rochester. This will be a trip against the Amerks as Porter came in with the leg sticking out a little too far.
I'd like to see this one because it looked like Porter tried to hit him with his shoulder, and he tried to dodge the check and put himself off balance in Lordsden. As you're going to see him come around from behind the net and coming in, and he just meets him. He doesn't stick his leg out. He just meets him. He just rides the one leg up between and hits him with the bumps him with the shoulder. And as far as that, again, that's a tripping call. So now it's going to be 4-on-3 for 3 seconds or 7 seconds, I should say 4 seconds, and then it's going to be 4-on-4 again for 2 seconds, and then it'll be another power play for the Lake Erie Monsters.
Puck drop. That behind the net. Ripped around the boards as it's still kept in the zone. And to the left wing side. Top as we're getting a few players exiting the penalty boxes now. Is back at the left point. That one knocked down, and so the Monsters will have to set it up again.
Rochester didn't even get their 2-second power play.
Turned ahead. In over the Rochester line. Stopped to the right wing side. Spun off in the corner and pulled back on the far boards again. That's over the line out to center ice. Recovered by the Monsters. Lake Erie has scored 3 unanswered goals. The Amerks picked up the first goal of the game, but the next 3 scored by the Monsters. 2 of those on the power play. And the other one, the one that was recently scored, was as each team was a man short. Turned ahead, out at the point, kept in. And on top again, Lake Erie on the power play. Through to the left point for Alberg, drops it on top, and a shot knocked down. That went out the other side. Picked up again, turned on top, Hunwick giving it off on the right side, Lurg into the corner, looking for a return pass, that went off, a stick is in the air, and over the line to center ice. Back for it go the Monsters, getting to it is Hunwick. Lead forward up the left wing side, but it's turned back in the zone, spinning through in front of his net, Muirs will bring it away, and a long pass on the left wing is shoveled in behind the Amerks net. As they crash to the backboards, Watching on. Ellis for the Amerks. Pokes at it. Back in the corner once again. Rochester still short-handed. In the eye of the net. Feet out in front. And the Amerks will pick it up and bring it away. Ellis up ice with Waugh. Shoots it in on goal. That one poked behind by Pickard coming down the corner. Reaching in for it, but drawn away in the side boards. And getting hold of it. Still kept in. Slammed around behind the Lake Erie net. Back go the Monsters. Amerks penalty with just a few seconds remaining in it. Carried forward up the left wing side. In along the near wing. One-hander back out in front, but blocked away. The puck coming down the corner. The Amerks are at full strike. On the near wing into the corner. After it pulled out in front and a shot taken by Smith this wide. That's chipped up but not out. Still kept in by Lake Erie. They're winning the races for the puck right now. As the puck drawn back in front of the net, and it's cleared along the right wing side, through and down ice. After into the sideboards, Porter, but picked off his stick and brought away by the Monsters. Dumped in wide of the Amerks net. Getting to it in the back boards. It's Cheek in the near corner, turning around, left wing side, spins it back in the corner, and behind the net, carried away by Porter. Out the other side, up the left wing, and that one is past Tardif over the line. He's taken down and didn't even touch the puck. Looked like it could have been an interference there. Tuzolino drops it back in front of his net to Ruedel. Turning in the corner, looking to get away. As he gets all tied up in the sideboards, it's poked along the wall, and this one over the line is out to center ice. Shot right back in, but a player there, and it's offside. Stoppage of play. 7:10 to go, but back up ice. We have a little discussion going on that's between a couple of players as they are separated by the officials.
Both pray for them.
All right, so it's a 3-1 lead now for the Monsters over the Amerks as they've added another one here in the second period. This is the Amerks Broadcast Network. A little bit of ice repair going on. Must have been a hole in the ice as they were filling that, and now play resumes. Again, we're at the Frozen Frontier Field in Rochester, New York, the home of the Rochester Red Wings AAA baseball team. And a great job they've done along with the Sabres and Amerks of putting a tremendous event together. And this is a full 10-day extravaganza, all kinds of things happening. And tomorrow it'll be a couple of games with RIT men's and women's team. Sunday, a lot of activity going on here as play resumes, and it's in the Rochester zone. The Monsters leading 3-1. Now just over 6.5 minutes to go in the second period. Back for it, the Monsters at their own blue line. A feed up the right side, the Rochester blue line. Bagnall steps in the way of Maggio, and the loose puck carried away by Gillies. Throws it off. Here's Gauthier Duke ahead on the right wing side, and bumped away is Armia as they tie up in front of the penalty boxes. Poked back in the Rochester zone. To Ruedel, ahead on the left wing. That's through and all the way down. Now behind the Monster net. Rochester scored the first goal of the game back at 3:36 in the first period, but the Monsters have come back and scored the next three, including a couple on the power play. Drop back. Head on the left wing side, McKenzie, Crawford, and all the way down. Chasing back for it, go the Monsters. And coming around the wing. And dropped in behind the net by Wyman, and after it, Hunwick, but the Amerks will get to it first. Dropped off in the corner board, Zigomanis. Pass top of the slot, bounced away, and reaching in, and kept him momentarily by Veroni, but couldn't control it. Shot down to the Rochester blue line, jammed aside again by Crawford to center ice. Throws it up the right wing, but out of the reach of Tardif and to the Rochester blue line. Head on the right wing side. In the zone, chasing after it, Zigomanis. Down behind the net, but that's turned back into the near corner. Played to the point, but still not. Is not out, kept in by the Amerks, spun toward the front, but knocked down. And now it's turned out on the boards, and that threw and down. So the Amerks back for it. As it looks like this will be an icing call. There's the whistle. 5:12 to go in the second period. 3-1 for the Monsters.
Well, Rochester able to make a change here as it's a long way from their own zone to the bench. Faceoff comes back. Lake Erie has to stay with their players due to the icing rules. The team creating the infraction on icing cannot make the change, so Rochester gets fresh troops out here.
Now, you mentioned the weather and especially breathing playing a little bit on what might happen here tonight. I don't know about you, but I think the pace has slowed a little bit here, hasn't it?
Oh, I think it has drastically.
Top they scored. No, yes, now it is in the net. The Amerks have scored here. First indication was no. Next was yes. Then it was no again. And then it's in the net, and the referee says yes, it's a goal.
I thought the first shot went in. It went in the blocker side low, but apparently it must have hit the post and bounced out. And able to put that in is Gauthier Leduc, it looks like, because he's the first one through the line, greeting his teammates. But we'll have to see this on the replay as the puck went to the net. I heard a ding. I thought it was in. but then the rebound came out, and Gauthier Leduc on the side. You're going to see it here. It's in behind now. Leduc, there it is, sitting right there, and he puts it in. He shovels it in. I'll take 20 of those a year.
Yeah, thank you very much. So now it's a one-goal game again as the puck is dumped down in the Rochester zone. And for Gauthier Leduc, that's his second of the season.
Well, Gauthier Leduc getting his second point here. He had assist on the first goal for Matt Ellis, and now he gets a goal here for 2 points tonight.
So, as the native of Quebec City, Quebec, Jerome Gauthier Leduc scores to put the Amerks on the board. It's now a one-goal game, 3-2. This is the Amerks Broadcast Network. Head and left wing side, Gillies in the corner, turns as he tries to spin away, throws it in behind the net. Ellis out in front, tried to stuff into the backhander. Net is knocked off again. The whistle stops play. Well, just not getting much of a break right there.
Well, that was the net that they came out and did some repair on as Matt Ellis kept that puck out front, but by that time the net was off and the whistle had gone. With 3:30 remaining, they replaced that net, the same one they did some work on in the first period, so it'll be interesting to see if they pay a little more attention to it in the intermission to make sure that one doesn't happen.
Well, the fans getting the wave going here in the Frontier Field Stadium. And maybe it's the warm-up they're getting going, right?
Definitely.
Puck cleared around the boards. It's over the line to center ice. It's actually turned out to be just a gorgeous evening, I think. Of course, we got the window closed right now, so can I say that or not?
I just told him to open the door, let some heat in from the backside.
There you go. Cleared along the boards. And that down to the Rochester blue line. Veroni drops it off for McKenzie. Throws it ahead of the right wing side. Zigomanis sends it the rest of the way down. As the wave is picking up here in the stands, so you can hear some of the noise at least out in front of us. And behind the net, there's somewhere around 11,000 people in a sold-out house here for the Frozen Frontier. Turned around and feet out in front of the goal. They score! Veroni was there, able to slip it through, and the Amerks have come back and knotted this game at 3.
Wow, I was just thinking what we were watching on this shift is how this game started. When Matt Ellis scored, it was containment, it was control, it was working the perimeter and then getting the puck to the net. And that's exactly what happened. They worked the puck up the boards, come back down the boards, put the puck to the net. Veroni standing there, he's the benefactor, gets his 6th goal of the season. As you're gonna see the work along the side boards here, look at spinning it, finally just getting it to the net. Veroni just tips it through the 5-hole on Calvin Pickard, and it's all tied up.
That centering pass coming from Crawford, nice setup. As the Amerks have come back and even this one up. It was looking kind of bleak for the Amerks for a while, but they're battling back here in the second period. That's in behind the Lake Erie net, drawn out of the sideboard, cycled back in the corner once again. Turning around, trying to get loose in behind, but spinning back in the corner. Feed out to the point is kept in. Long shot to Salina. That's knocked down, goes wide. Whistle to stop play.
Well, on that other goal by
it's a pushing going on across the way.
And again, we look at it.
Beaupre and Schaller having a few words.
Beaupre was involved in the last pushing and shoving that we had seen, but they all get in there, and we'll see if any penalties are called. Here's some whistles going.
I'm hearing a few too many whistles, I think.
Absolutely, as looking in, and after this one, as seeing what's going on, but nothing seems to be being called here. As nobody's heading towards the box. Well, the referee's backing up, but I'm not heading towards the box. That goal by Gauthier Leduc at 14:57. Waugh and Schaller getting the assists on that one, and that brought within 1. And then Veroni's goal. We'll get the assists on that one.
Crawford and Zigomanis.
Crawford and Zigomanis get that one, get the assist, and it's all tied up with only 2:21 remaining. Faceoff will be brought outside the blue line as the linesman goes and checks that goal again.
So the puck is dropped. However, the whistle stops play. We're going to do it all over again. And I don't know, what do we have? We have indication of the referee. Oh, I see. He's saying, I thought he was calling a holding penalty. He's saying hold the clock for a second is what he's saying.
Oh, okay.
Cleared in, still kept in the Lake Erie zone. Around the boards back at the left point, kept in. Long shot from there. Knocked down. The Amerks can't get to the rebound. That's over the line. Taken and shot in again. Back for it, Beaupre in the corner. Turns, pass up the slot, slipped ahead on the left wing side. Lurds feed forward, batted away, and the Amherst recover it. Turned and shot in around behind the net by Tardif, and backboard go the Monsters. On the backboard, brought out in front, ball play, long pass up the left wing. Blocked away, and now it's center ice, turned into the Lake Erie zone, and back for it go the Monsters. We're down to 1:40 remaining in the second period. And behind the net, as the Monsters look to dig it out. Shot along the boards, high in the air and all the way down ice, and this one looks like it could be an icing call. While I have just a second here, I want to pass along best wishes to Terry Now, longtime youth hockey coach in the Rochester area, hospitalized. And Terry, we wish for you the best. Get well soon, pal.
Now on that Veroni goal, Sunder got the second assist now. They've changed Jack Crawford from Sunder at 17:09.
Veroni, what was it?
Veroni from Crawford and Sunder.
Oh, instead of Zigomanis, okay. So it's 92 instead of 12, getting that assist. That got top kept in and pulled ahead to center ice. In on goal, Hackett will smother it. He'll hold on for a faceoff.
1:13 remaining, so Hackett makes no mistake as that puck comes in. You can see the amount of snow that's on that ice. And, like in the first period, when Rochester had all the pressure on, it wasn't until 10:34 that the first power play goal was scored, and then it seemed to be all of Lake Erie. Well, this period, it started out Lake Erie putting a press on Rochester, all the snow down there. Then they go down the other end where it's kind of clear, and Rochester scores 2 goals. But you can see the pass, the shot coming in, and having him talking late. A nice size there. Agazino looking into the American logo on that sweater.
Gillies is a big man.
Yes, he is.
Cleared ahead to center ice. That's stolen away. The Amherst have it. Shot in. Off the backboards and now turned it behind the net. We're down to just under a minute to go in the second period. It's an even up match here at the frozen frontier. The puck high in the air coming out at center ice. Turned along the boards on the near wing, but back to the Rochester blue line, where that slipped in and around behind the net in the corner. Pulled away by the Monsters off of the backboard, turning in behind. And trying to sprint away from the puck is Smith as he dishes it out in front, but the Amherst take it and slip it ahead in the air to center ice. Recovered again by the Monsters. Trying to break away, pulled it over the line. Veroni drops it back in the right point area. Now along the sideboards, Armia ended it out in front, but no help there. It'll be pulled away and up ice. Here come the Monsters with 20 seconds to go in the period. Long shot in wide of the net. Back for it go the Amherst. Behind his net, Bagnall takes a look up ice. 12 seconds to go in the period. Long feed through all the way down on goal. Out of his net, Pickard shoots it off on the near side. Shot in, grab by Pickard. He holds on. The shot coming from Zigomanis with just 5 seconds to go in the period.
Now it's interesting as this period is going to wind down and probably end up being tied unless something happens off this faceoff. But we were talking about the what happens with the weather conditions, and it's a game time call that if the weather conditions are in favor of one team, basically the wind, you're going to see the shot here come at the net. Just tees one up and by Zigomanis and a quick save by Pickard. So the faceoff will stay there. They'll make a decision halfway through the third period. They'll switch ends if it's one lopsided one way or the other.
Yeah, the other thing we were talking about too is the puck is dropped, and that's going to be it for the period as it's behind the net. So there's the horn, and that ends the period. But we were talking about the possibility that they were going to have stoppages to clear snow off the ice during the period. And some of the stoppages, but they haven't had to do that, so that's a good sign.
I thought so too, and the main issue would have been chunks of ice, as they talked about before the game, chunks or cracks. But fortunately, the ice has held up really well, especially in these frigid temperatures, and that's really surprising. And it's a great job, a testament to the guys that built this thing.
They're all even at 3 apiece. As we get lined up for the start of the third period, again, as we said, anybody's game. And there's Drew Bagnall, one of the alternate captains of the Amherst. Of course, the Moose waving the colors.
With all the shots being even, the score being even, it's going to be an interesting 20 minutes. Again, we're not out in the wind. Mind you, I don't see any heater in here, so we don't have it as bad as Mike and Brian and Lauren had it out there, but it's going to be an interesting 20 minutes here.
Yeah, there's a little bit of a flutter in the flags out over the left field fence as we are underway now in the third period. Amherst again back to shooting in the net to our left, and it's Hackett in goal down to our right as they tie up in the corner, slipped along the boards and spun out to center ice. Turning backboard, Tam knocks it aside for the Monsters to the Rochester blue line. In front of that, the Amerks have it, flipped high in the air and all the way down, and back for it go the Monsters. Hunwick will cycle it off the left wing side, out of the zone. Amerks take, jam it right back in, clear of the zone. The Monsters have it. Ahead on the right wing, down to the Rochester blue line, around behind the Amerks net, where that's chased down and carried away by Bagnall. Looks up the left wing side. Now he throws it ahead to center ice. That's off a stick, deflected all the way down. Porter chasing in the corner. Slams his man in the corner boards. Centering pass under front, fanned on it. At the left wing side, goes to the shot. Rebound in front. It's poked aside and coming down the corner. Off the stick of goaltender Pickard. That tap kept in again. Porter drops it to the point to the other side for goaltender Duke. Moving down on the left wing side as he's bumped there. Reaching in, helping out. Porter will send it around to the right wing boards. At the point kept in. Shot it behind again. Off the back boards. They try and bring it out in front, but no lane. Played back in. It's intercepted, then cleared along the boards and down ice. Oh, a foot race for it. Ruedel will get there first, beating Lurk to the puck. Behind the Amerks net, Ruedel. And the backhander to the point. It's on over the line and recovered by Lake Erie back in their own zone, taken by Clark. As he looks it over, throws it up the right wing side to center ice. Enters the Amerks zone. And a shot, but that's knocked down. Comes down the corner once again. And behind the Amerks net as they tie up. And the puck pulled away. And it's along the left wing and now out over the line to center ice. Amerks with it will dump it in. Chasing after it, Zigomanis in the corner, reaching in. Also after to help out. And Ferroni back at the right point kept in. Shot around behind the net. And it ends up in the corner, blocked down as the sideboards. Ferroni out in front. Turns and his shot ripped it wide. Down from the left point, feed in on goal by Crawford. And diving on it is Pickard. He'll hold on for the face-off.
Well, they keep putting that puck to the net, trying to keep the pressure on. This is what Rochester has to do. They have to continue to contain and keep putting pressure on, and that means taking the body. Porter taking his man into the boards, looking for that loose puck. They both go in there as he takes Stollery right to the boards. This is the young effort you have to do, and they have to do it for 20 minutes to keep this team on their heels.
Face-off in the Lake Erie zone to the right of Pickard.
Smith gets knocked out, and Mears will come in and take the draw for Lake Erie.
As it's pulled back at the point, long shot, but knocked out in front. Loose puck, but cleared aside. Now over the line to center ice. Knocked loose momentarily. The Amerks up with it again. Schaller bringing it in on the right wing. He's chasing the corner, stood up there by Hunwick. Schaller still trying to one-hand a pass away. And pulled on the sideboards. Wall with a hit. And pulled around by Schaller on top. Gets a shot away, but tipped wide. Coming down the corner is Catanacci. Couldn't get a piece of it. And it's over the line and down to the Rochester blue line. Back for it go the Amerks. Quickly feed it up the left wing side again and over the line. Trying to escape is Catanacci, but it's blocked away. And now out to center ice. In the Rochester zone, Amerks D turning back to the puck and in behind the net, taking up the Bill. He rammed up on the backboard. That's cleared around the far side, but not out. Blocked and still kept in. And it's recovered and brought away by the Amerks. Head to center ice. In over the blue line, but dropped off at the sideboards by Armia. Pass on the left wing, spot on in front by Ellis. There's a loose puck. They score! Knocked down in front by Pickard. Gillies is there to find the rebound. Hammers it inside the post, and the Amerks have taken the lead.
This all starts, Armia comes up the ice. He made a phenomenal move to get inside and then dropped it off, but Colton Gillies gets his second goal of the season here. Rochester takes a 4-3 lead, and this is what they need to do on the rush. As you can see, the puck gets towards the net, hits the skate, and Gillies comes in, short side, upstairs, and Rochester now benefits by putting the puck to the net. We saw that happen earlier late in the second period when Veroni got his goal, putting the puck to the net, and Rochester does it again.
That's brought in over the line as the Amerks finally back on top. This is the first time they've led since they were up 1-0. And on the left wing, it's into the zone once again. Gillies reaching in, but pulled behind the net by Beaupre. Shoots it around the far side, and that's through and all the way down. Back for the Amerks. Drawn around behind the net. All the way to the blue line, and ahead to center ice, but Amerks can't get a hold of it. Here come the Monsters again, turned in over the Rochester line, top of the slot, a shot but knocked down. Comes loose again, and down to the point area. Is slipped out over the line and down ice by Tardif, and back for it go the Monsters. Getting to it around behind his net. Cheek will bring it away out the left side. Works his way to center ice. As they get tied up again, and the loose puck is recovered by the Amerks on the near boards. Wrist shot in, stick stop Pickard. It's out in front, but blocked away. As the Amerks never got a hold of it for the rebound, and that's all the way down. Icing is the call. So the Amerks now on top 4-3, as that is Gillies getting the goal. Ellis and Armia with the assists.
Again, big goal for Rochester. Momentum. That's one thing they can't do is sit back. That shift right after the goal. It looked like Lake Erie was starting to get a little momentum on them, but fortunately they got back the other way, and now the faceoff is back in the Lake Erie zone.
Give Armia 2 assists on the night. Ellis has a goal and an assist. As the puck again in the Lake Erie zone off in the corner. Ellis, of course, scored the first goal of the game. And assists on that one, and now the puck is down to the Rochester Blue Light. Swept aside. As turned in the Rochester zone. Shots were even at 9 in the first period. Each team had 9 again in the second period, so each team had 18 through 2 periods. Very even in the shot totals. Cleared in around behind the Lake Erie net. That off in the corner, spun behind by Tam to the other side. And then living along the left wing side ahead to center ice. Smith brings it forward to the Rochester zone. He's slowed up at the blue line. And looks like an offside.
I was wondering if they're going to call that because the guy that cut across him on the far side, as he stepped offside beforehand, and just a second delay there, but they ended up making the call, so the faceoff will come back outside the Rochester blue line right in front of their bench.
Bill Veroni lines up for the faceoff against Colin Smith. And the puck out to center ice. Got in behind the Amerks net. And all the way around the other side. As they tie up Zigomanis, able to flip it to the point, but it's kept in. A long shot from there, knocked down, and blocked out to center ice and a race for it. This will be in on goal out of his net. Pickard shoots to the side. Cleared along, right back in on goal. One hopper into the left pad of Pickard. And it's now out over the line to center ice. On the near wing, swept into the Rochester zone by Muirs. Chased back by McKenzie for the Amerks. Clears it along the side boards. It's in the skates of Veroni, but pulled out now by Olver and dumped in behind the Amerks net. Henry pass on in front, and that one is through and all the way back into the Lake Erie zone. Chased down in the corner by Wyman. He'll turn forward, out the right wing, then is hit as the puck is flipped to the Rochester blue line, knocked down with a hand, so the whistle will stop play, and we'll have a center ice face-off.
Well, that goal came at 3:07 in the third period, and it could have been a better time, but there's lots of hockey left here, and both coaches, both teams realize it, that we've seen numerous goals scored, 3 in the first, 3 in the second, and in order to tie that one up, we need 2 more this period.
That's Freddie Waugh in for the face-off, but it's taken from the draw by the Monsters, shot around behind the Amerks net. Back is Bagnall, chips it around the left wing side. As the Amerks trying to dig it out. Schaller in, and shot the other way, and chased down by Tuzolino in the far corner. Tuzolino, of course, on a PTO, and a Buffalo native, 7th-year pro. This is his 6th game on this PTO. Played very well, actually.
Yeah, he has PTO for a professional tryout, as he's here basically on loan, and they have so many games to make a decision on him.
Cleared along the boards out to center ice. Chased after deep in the zone. Schaller will get to it. On him is Beauprice. And repass in front, but that's tipped aside by Pickard. And off the wing, played by Wyman, and down in the Rochester zone, back toward the Amerks, and that'll be an icing call. So it'll bring the face-off all the way down in the Lake Erie zone to our left here in the third period.
Lake Erie trying to make a change there, and those players have to go back to the bench that came on, and the tired ones have to go back out onto the ice, so the face-off come back. Rochester making a change on this one.
Again, a packed house here at Frontier Field for the Frozen Frontier. Somewhere in the neighborhood of 11,000.
I said 11,000 plus. Standing room only here tonight.
That's on the sideboard, centered in on goal, but that kicked through and out the other side. Up to the corner, in behind the net. After it on the backboard's a spin around shot, but up over top, comes down on the near wing again after it, the Amerks. Tied up on the sideboards, brought away, and it's to the top of the slot, kept in. A backhander in, but wide. Ellis will chase after to the corner, cycles it back in the corner boards, and that one spun behind the net to the other side. Off the stick of Armia. And his Gillies looking to dig it loose. Watching on is Ellis. Behind the net. Now Ellis hit by Agazzino. And the puck is still in skates. Beaupre for the Monsters watching on also gives Ellis a little bit of a shove. Armia tied up, and now Ellis turns away with the puck. Trying to get it back at the point, but that's intercepted, pulled away by Lurg. Out to center ice. Up in the air, coming down the Rochester zone, back for a go. The Amerks getting to it as Gauthier to do. And behind his net. Still looking it over. Out the left side, pass ahead to center ice. all the way down in the zone, but blocked away. And on the return comes Lake Erie. Dumped in the Rochester zone. This being, between these two teams, the fourth of 10 meetings this year between the two. And you still got, after this one, 5 more games to go, and all of those games will be played in Lake Erie. Or this is the fourth, the next one is 5. They got one more here, and then they play the next 5 in Cleveland. So it's a 4-3 lead. The Amherst leading for the first time since way back in the first period. This is the Amherst Broadcast Network. .12:15 to go here in the third period. The Amherst are going to have a man advantage.
Rochester taking advantage here as Schumacher reaches up and hits with a high stick. He's 6'5", 210 pounds from Sweden. He's going to get to meet the penalty box at Frontier Field here tonight as he takes 2 minutes for high sticking. Rochester on their second power play of the night.
That's cleared back at the point and kept in. Ruedel on the right side to Crawford. He's bumped. The puck pops up in the air. He gets it again. Backhands it in behind. Tardif brings it around the boards for Baroni, setting up on the half wall. And drops it back in the corner, but taken away by the Monsters. They're able to clear the zone. So back go the Amherst. Again, last game, as Rick told you, the Amherst were 0 for 7 in the power play against this Lake Erie team. Behind the net, brought away. Turned back once again. Spinning in the corner, Crawford trying to get away. Very aggressive penalty killing for Olver of the Monsters. Shot in wide, coming down the corner. Back as Hunwick spins, and he'll rip it away and down ice again.
I sometimes think Oliver should be doing a battery commercial. The guy never tires, and he's always in the leading the play.
Yeah, carried forward. Now up ice, the Amherst wide on the left wing side. Entering the zone on the near board, Zigomanis, but as he's checked, that's pulled away and dumped down ice again. So back go the Amherst.
Rochester needs to come up together as a team and with some speed and attack the zone together.
And just not getting the penetration. In on the left wing side. They get jammed up. The puck rolls down into the corner. Reaching in for Baroni around behind the net to the other side. Turning on the backboards. And still in skates. Armia as the puck is in behind the net. Finally, whistle to stop play. And everybody's kind of looking around like, why is the whistle?
Well, one of the things that Rochester, I think, needs to get better at is outnumbering the opposition on their power play on the puck. As we've got a penalty coming up here now, and it's Gillies going to the gate for cross-checking. But when you're playing 1-on-1 or 2-on-2, that's not the advantage of having a power play. You got to outman them on the puck at all areas until you get control. Then you spread out. But in those corners, you're going to see here down in the corner coming in, and Beaupre's got his back to him. A little cross-check in the back. Beaupre goes down, and Gillies gets 2 minutes. So for 36 seconds, they will play 4-on-4, and then we'll see a Lake Erie power play.
All on the sideboards, punt through the slot and turning back on the Amherst. It's Crawford from behind his net to bring it away. He'll work it up the slot to center ice, throws it off on the right side to McKenzie, continues on and over the line. Takes his shot off the shoulder, and Pickard comes down behind. As in deep, once again, McKenzie Ellis, the captain of the Amherst, helping out. And in behind the net, as they try and bring it out in front, McKenzie tripped up on the back of the net. And the puck brought ahead to center ice. Here comes Lake Erie, now 2-on-1 and a shot. Knocked there, rebound is pulled out the near side, and unable to get a hold of the rebound. For the Monsters, it's all the way down in the Lake Erie zone. Now Lake Erie's penalty has expired, so the Monsters on the power play. For what, like the 6th time, I think.
This is their 6th power play of the night with 1:10 left in the power play.
And it's Oliver feeds the left wing boards to Lurg. Shot in around behind the Amherst net. That one sneaking through back at the point area. That comes out top of the shot in wide. Goes to the corner. Weedle is there. As passed but blocked and still kept in. Now it's dumped out over the line to center ice. The Amherst have it. Dropped back in the zone, finding an opening. Cleared all the way down by Weedle. Down behind the net. We're just past the halfway point of the third period. Brought ahead to center ice up the right wing. As getting slowed up. Over but gets away. Moving in. Backhander across the goal mouth on the other side. At the left point, kept in. Slipped around behind the Rochester net. At the point area, still kept in. As the Monsters on the power play for another 22 seconds. It's in the slot in the shot side of the net. Feed across. Out the other side again. Back on the left point, kept in. Off on the right side. Taken by Lurg. Out top. Once more time to Lurg. And a one-timer missed the net. Comes down behind the wide. Over will bang it around behind the net. Comes all the way out on the near wing, back at the right point. As Lurg is bumped away by Tardif, who gets a hold of the puck and is able to clear it. Penalty is expired. Here come the Monsters right back in. Shot in. Now a high one knocked down. And the loose puck squirts wide, goes down behind the net. It's heating up a little bit now as it's sent around the boards, and that's through. And out of the zone, back behind the play. We got a scrap going on in the corner. At least it looked like it, but they get up and skate away. Now brought forward. On the right wing, ball play to the Rochester blue line, able to shovel the backhander in deep in the corner. Now behind the net as it crashed to the backboards. Bagnall with a hit. On the wing and dumped in behind again. Still in behind the Amherst, netted off in the corner, spun along the boards to the point area, but knocked down, still kept in. Bagnall helping out, but now carried behind the net. As they wipe out of the backboards, it comes down in the near corner. That in skates and on the backboards in behind and helping out, but taken away out the far side, shallow reaching in, but that's spun around by Ellis, or by Smith rather, behind the net, comes out in front and blocked in behind again by Hackett. At the far point, well, the Monsters are really applying pressure now. They got the Hammers all heading up at their own end of the rink here. That's in the corner boards, they bang to the backboards, and finally the whistle stops play as we have a stoppage here and a little bit of discussion going on the side of the net, but very aggressive in the forecheck by the Lake Erie Monsters, tying up the Amherst in their own end. Rochester holding on right now to a slim 1-goal lead, 4-3. This is the Amherst Broadcast Network. Amherst leading by 1, fortunately, because of tonight's big save of the game, which is brought to you by Wright Wisner and Molson Canadian, official partners of the Rochester Americans.
Trevor Cheek coming down the left side, fakes it, takes the shot. Big save by Matt Hackett to keep his team up by 1. That could have been a tiebreaker right there.
Set for the face-off, coming to Hackett's left. As he gets settled in, the puck wasn't dropped. We'll wait and try and do it all over again. Now finally his drop, pulled back at the point and kept in. Shot wide by Clark, ends up along the boards. Still stuck in the Rochester zone. We're down to 7:35 to go in the third. Amherst had led 1-0 and then gave up 3 unanswered goals. So the Monsters leading 3-1, but the Amherst coming back with the next 3 of their own have regained the lead. That turned out to center ice. Got back to the Rochester zone. The Amherst after it. Ruedel rings it around to the right wing side. However, blocked as they pinch down from the point and kept in by the Monsters. On the sideboards, taken away, spun ahead. Then this one is out over the line finally to center ice. Shot right back in again, but that's out of play. So the whistle will stop play, and we'll have a face-off coming up with 7:05 to go in the third period.
Well, if you look at the way these two games have taken over, Rochester scored in the first half of the first period, then Lake Erie scored in the second half, both their goals. And then in the second period, Lake Erie scored in the first half, and then Rochester scored the last 2 in the last half. So Rochester scored in the first half of this period. Let's hope it doesn't repeat.
Turned behind the net, spun around the boards, and out to center ice by Tam. The Amherst chasing back for it. Jammed along the wall again, out of the zone. That's turned the other way down the Lake Erie zone, and back for it go the Monsters. Down behind his net, Hunwick. She's banged up against the backboards, but the puck comes around, and the point long shot in, knocked down by Pickard. Down from the left point, Bagnall with a shot, gets it right back. Trying to throw it out in front, now a feed through at the left point. It's shot in but wide, missed the short side. The eye of the net cleared around to the right point. Amherst get to it to keep it in, but then it's tipped away out of the zone. So the Amherst back for it. That's on the left wing side, got away, turning back after it. Larson trying to get loose as he's wrapped up in the sideboards, and the point kept in. Carey with a shot, put it up over top of the Amherst net. Now 6:13 to go. Feed from behind the net, blocked away in the corner. And a pass along the sideboard. Veroni, that's Armia spins into the point, but not out. Turnaround shot, knocked down, rebound. Push wide, comes down behind the net. Then around in front again, and a big scramble with the puck is back at the point and kept in. On the sideboards. Up with it, the Monsters. A shot high over top of the net, comes down behind. After it goes Smith. Colin Smith pulls it on the front, back to her side, shot in. That's booted away, comes out the near wing, and Armia can't clear. Still stuck in the zone, and now is back in the blue line, but still kept in. Monsters able to keep it tied up in the Rochester zone. Looking to dig it loose along the near side, but in the corner as they still spin around. That's in skates in the sideboards. Was Larson able to draw it back behind the net, but taken away, and now cleared by Tizzolino to the far point, but again kept in by Lake Erie. Off at the right side, Smith will ring it around behind the Amherst net. Out on the backboards. In the other corner is played away and over the line and down ice. Back for it go the Monsters. They carry the puck at their own blue line. Dropped off in the zone. Both play will spin it ahead to the Rochester blue line. Turned in on the wing, but left at the blue line. Now shot along the side boards. The Amherst up with it. Flip one high in the air, and it comes out at center ice. Monsters back in their own zone. Quick pass on the right side again. That shot in, and the Amherst chasing it down the corner. Ruedel is back. As they'll clear it along the boards, and that's over the line to center ice. But right now, Rick, you'd have to say the Amherst are on their heels right here.
They definitely are. They're playing too much time in their own zone as they're working around, keeping the puck around the perimeter. But still, they've got to get it out of their zone, and that means better board work when that puck comes around, especially this left wing side, the side we're not seeing along the boards. It's come around this side several times that just hasn't gotten out.
So here at Frontier Field, Freddie Waugh watching on, skating around as we have some heavy hits delivered right there by Gillies. It's a 1-goal lead for the Amherst. This is the Amherst Broadcast Network.
Back in Rochester, Amherst lead at 4-3, 4:34 to go here in the third period. Stay with us. As soon as the game ends, we're going to talk with Amherst head coach Chad Cassidy. Plus, you'll hear from the player of the game from the Amherst. That comes up as soon as this one's over, guys.
Chad right there and behind the bench still hasn't put a hat on. He's a tough guy, huh?
His two assistants both have toques on, but not him.
Back toward the Amherst. Cleared along the wall as they try and hold on here with a very slim 1-goal lead. And settled on the boards by Zigomanis down the zone, chasing after it. Armia moving in, steals it away. Tried to bring it out in front, but that's knocked away out the end of his stick and carried away by the Monsters. This young kid, Armia, he's got some moves, doesn't he?
He definitely has some sweet hands when it comes to handling that puck.
Shot around behind the net. He's got a lot of growing to do yet. He's got to get stronger for one thing, I think, but man, he's impressive.
6'3", he's only 187 pounds.
It's carried in, dropped in the slot, moving in a shot, and save for Hackett. Getting a hold of it, Lurid, drawing it back to the left point. That's out of the zone, back in, and an offside whistle. So it'll bring a face-off up at the blue line. And after the game, head over to the Distillery Restaurant on Mount Hope for the official Frozen Field post-game party presented by Labatt. Specials all night, a visit from Hall of Famer Jody Gage and other Amherst alumni. And Rick, you said you might head over there.
I might even head over there for some nice wings tonight after freezing here. It's cold.
That's the Distillery on Mount Hope.
Well, I'm going to tell you what, that was a big save by Matt Hackett right there to keep his team in the lead.
At the center ice. Again, just 1-goal lead for Rochester. Turned in over the Amherst blue line and into the corner as they turn back for it. That's in the corner, now dug out and carried away. Working his way out the left wing side to center ice. Ruedel gains the red line, sends it the rest of the way down. Back to the Monsters. Big hit in behind the net. As the puck out to center ice, carried forward in the Rochester zone up the left wing. Turning back to the sideboards once again. Out of the corner, dumped in behind. Into the centering pass, but in behind the net. The Monsters bring it out in front, but blocked away, and now it's recovered by Viewers. He's slammed up against the backboards. Puck out on the far wing. Amherst get a hold of it. Ellis can't clear. The Lake Erie man goes down, but it's still kept in. And quick shot and save out in front. Another shot knocked down. And the loose puck is recovered by Lake Erie. That's pulled out on the sideboards to the point, but not out. Kept in. Stoller with a shot. Glove stop for Hackett. And he'll hold on to face off. 2:52 remaining.
That's what Rochester needed. That puck needed to get to Hackett so he could grab it and get a break. The pressure that Lake Erie is putting on right now is phenomenal, and Rochester's buckling. They're not winning the battles along the boards. They're not getting it out of the zone, and Lake Erie is spinning off their checks in the corners, but a shot there coming in off the sideboards there. Hackett called on to make a big save, and you can see the loose puck just scrambles, and it ends up going back. Not clearing the zone. Big issue for Rochester right now.
Play resumes. That's at center ice with the whistle to stop play.
We got an interference call being made. And I'm looking like it's going to be Rochester. No, it's going to be Lake Erie.
Now they had the puck and whistle blew, so.
It's just the way that it looked like Ruedel was arguing with the referee, so I thought he was getting it. But the faceoff's coming back. It's an interference call. And you're going to see here right now, guy's trying to get by. He just blocked him right out along the boards. And that's what you can't do. And now it's going to go back the other way with 2:45, Rochester on the power play, but they have to be careful because this penalty killing unit for Lake Erie has scored 4 shorthanded goals this year.
Shot around to the far point, kept in. Spun behind the net to the other side. Amherst on the power play for the third time, and the line is dropped in behind. And Rochester in the two-game set here, 0 for 9 so far in the power play against this Lake Erie team. Dropped to the corner. Turned in behind the net again by Porter. Round the right wing side, kept in. Feed, but that over top. Coming down the other side. We're down to 2:19 to go in regulation as the puck is dumped all the way down by the Monsters. Back toward the Amherst. Ruedel tying up, and now it's carried away. Olver almost stealing it. Out ahead by the Amherst. Up the right side, Verone dumps it in, but it's knocked down. The Amherst get a hold of it to keep it in again. Backhander, but knocked down again. Another shot from out top, missed wide, hits the glass in behind. Pops up in the air, comes down the near corner. Back at the left point, kept in. Another shot, knocked down, rebound in front, but that's cleared aside and over the line to center ice. Here come the Monsters, 2-on-2. They're 3-on-2 and moving in, but the shot knocked down and recovered by the Amherst. Turned up to center ice, forward pass ahead. Right in over the line, taken down as he's going for the net. They're tired of it, the puck ends up in the corner. That on the backboards is spun off and behind. And the fans booing here want a penalty, but they're not getting the call. The Amherst have it. Got back at the right point, kept in. All on the sideboards. Amherst finally setting it up with a man advantage here. Burned out on the wing and a shot in front. That's grabbed and held onto by Pickard, and we'll have a face-off coming up.
You heard the boos, didn't you?
Yeah.
Their fans are so back from the rink, it sounds like it's one of the trains going by. Yeah. Big play here. You can watch that they jump up. They create a 3-on-2 while killing a penalty. That's how aggressive this penalty killers are. Going back the other way, Tardif looked like he got taken down. No call. 1:21 remaining in regulation. 36 seconds left in the Rochester power play. Their third of the night. 0 for 2 so far.
Puck drawn out on the sideboards at the right point, kept in. Still in the power play, but only for half a minute. And around the boards is pulled out to the blue line, kept in. Turned down on the left wing side as they tie up. Gillies wasting as much time as he can here. Now out in front, and that's back at the right point, but it'll be carried away and up ice by the Monsters. To the Rochester zone, stood up, backboard. Now we're going to have a penalty the other way. Ruedel is going to be called for interference as he took Smith down.
That was a push there as he went by him. He knew this was going to happen as soon as he did it. As there's 10 seconds left, and then Lake Erie is going to go on the power play. They'll play 4-on-4 for 10 seconds, face off in the Rochester zone. As you're going to see coming down on Ruedel, they dump the puck through his feet. He puts his arms up. Really easy fall, kind of an embellishment as far as I was concerned with the push, but knocking him off his skates, but he did the job, got the call, and looks like we're going to have, I don't know if we're calling a timeout here or not. They pointed towards the Rochester bench, and yes, there is. There is a timeout being called.
So Ruedel in the penalty box, and that's going to give the Monsters an opportunity with a man advantage coming up in just a few seconds here. As the Rochester penalty about to expire again, we're now under a minute, 55 seconds remaining in regulation.
Now Rochester's got to make sure on this, anything that puck comes around, it's got to get out over that blue line, make them re-enter the zone. But if it only goes out over the blue line, it's tough to get them going that way.
You notice the head coach for Lake Erie also without a hat on, Dean Shootout.
I didn't notice him. I was looking out here to see what's going on, but they both teams mapping out what they want to do, and you can see they're down at the one end talking to their assistant coach, who's telling them to make sure what to do. It's really crucial right now with the 10 seconds. They're probably going to pull the goaltender as well, which they have. So they're going to start out 5-on-4 and then go to 6-on-4 as he comes out of the box. And that's in 10 seconds away with 54.9 seconds remaining.
Zigamanis in for the faceoff against Agazino. That goes to the corner. Run out on the sideboards, but not out, still kept in. Then a pass off on the right wing side is dumped to the corner. But the whistle to stop play where it was knocked down with a high stick, so we'll have a face-off, and that should come out of the zone, right?
Face-off will come outside the blue line. In fact, I thought they might have taken it all the way down because of the penalty. They're having a discussion about it right now.
Well, the penalty has expired against Lake Erie, so they are on the power play now.
I thought that would bring it all the way down when they did it, so but they're having that discussion at center ice, decide where it's supposed to go. And the referee has indicated it's going to be outside the Rochester blue line. 44.6 seconds. Lake Erie on the power play here. This is their 6th power play. Is that what you've got?
I've got it, number 7.
That's their 7th.
Chad Cassidy and players watching on as the face-off is crucial. 45 seconds to go.
That whole Rochester bench is standing. Not one guy is sitting down.
And the puck is dropped, taken from the draw by the Monsters. On the left wing side, entering the zone, stopped to the sideboards. That'll be chipped away and down ice. Once again, the advantage of being short-handed is that they can ice the puck and there's no icing. Brought away by the Monsters on the attack, 25 seconds. Hackett stops it behind his net, shoots it off the glass. That coming down in the corner. As they get all jammed up along the wall, it's back at the point and kept in. On the right wing side, Holbert dropping it down, feet in goal, but blocked away. Comes down the sideboard, 10 seconds. On top, another shot, up in the air. Oh, it almost was batted out of midair, goes wide. Coming down the corner, 3 seconds, out in front, backdoor shot.
Going to count as the clock is ticked down to 0, and the referees are having a conversation. They'll go to the penalty box and review this.
Lake Erie figuring if they have scored, the clock says 0. The question is, do they score with 1 second to go or not?
Now, as we're looking at it here, you'll see it, that scramble play right out in front, and I'm not sure who that was, had it on his stick and lost it, and they scooped it in the back door. You can see it come out front. There it is right there, and in the net, but we don't have the ability to see the clock at the same time, so they're calling it a goal.
The red light did go on, and so the Monsters have scored right here at the very end of this period.
That's another power play goal. 3 power play goals for Lake Erie this game. Again, last game they scored 1 for 3, and tonight, on 7 opportunities, they've got 3 power play goals.
And they put 1/10 of a second back on the clock for the face-off coming up at center ice. So now each team is guaranteed a point, but that's got to be just a huge disappointment right there for Rochester.
That was a big disappointment right there, as they thought they had it, especially when that puck came out front, and whoever it was tried to handle the puck and not just push it to the corner. And it ended up going right on the stick, and Hunwick will get credit for that goal, his 2nd goal of the season, or of this night, his 5th of the season, and he ties it up here with 0.1 second remaining in regulation. We're going to go to overtime here, folks.
Well, this packed house is going to see a little more hockey than they thought they were going to just a few seconds ago. So they'll drop the puck at center ice, then we'll have the overtime period coming up. As the fans are showing their displeasure with that call, but what can you do as the puck is dropped, horn sounds, and coming up is overtime. And the Amerks and the Lake Erie Monsters, it'll be the 2nd time that they've gone past regulation this year. In the first meeting of the year between the two teams, it was Lake Erie coming away with a shootout victory. It's all tied it up and headed now to overtime. The Rochester in overtime games have 2 games decided in overtime this year, both losses. Well, the Monsters have gone 3 times past overtime into the shootout, so they have not had a game decided in overtime this year.
Well, we talked about special teams, and 3 power play goals and 1 4-on-4 goal. Half the goals here were basically in special teams. Both teams starting with 4 skaters aside.
Set to go now for the face-off to open overtime. Amherst continue to shoot at the net to our left. As Porter in for the face-off, puck is dropped back in the zone, taken by Beaupre. He'll then turn it off the boards out to center ice. Amherst right now have a 4-game home winning string on the line. Well, the Lake Erie Monsters on the road have lost the last 3. Turned off on the far boards, stepping up the Amherst. Ruiz will fend on it, gets it back again. He'll then play it off to Crawford, and now in over the line to feed off to Veroni. On the right wing boards, kept in the zone. Pass that, hits a leg, and now bounces out to center ice. Shot the rest of the way down, turning back toward Ruido as he's bumped there with Muir as they go in behind the Amherst net, and Ruido comes away with the puck, spins back with it. Brings it around on the other side, hits over the line out to center ice. Taken back by Muir, is able to shovel it in behind the Amherst net. Rochester back for the puck, turned off on the near side to Bagno as he gets pinned up against the wall. That's blocked away over the line to center ice. Back for it. Go the Monsters. Cleared along the wall by Hunwick down to the Rochester blue line and dumped in. The Hammers turning back for it. Getting hold of it is back. No. Leaves it in the corner. Cycles it back to Ruedel. And he'll turn it forward. Out to center ice. Up the left wing. In over the line. Hammers have an Armia with a shot blocked away. The rebound, a big one. But the Hammers could get to it as that's all the way out over the line to center ice. Here come the Monsters. Spin around move by Clark. To the Rochester blue line. Able to slip it in, but the Hammers back for it. Down behind his net, Gauthier Leduc. 3.5 to go in overtime. From behind the net, long feed forward, all the way through and down ice, and this will be called on an icing. Taking the face-off back in the Hammer zone, as Tardif, it looked like he was going to win the race for the puck.
That's what I was just wondering. I was looking at you here like if Tardif was going to be the head guy, I thought the icing was waved off, but it wasn't. It was brought back all the way to the Rochester zone. Rochester unable to make changes as they have to stay out there for this. Lake Erie making their changes, putting fresh troops out. 3:25 remaining in the overtime. It's all tied up at 4.
Hammers have Tardif and Veroni up front. Crawford, McKenzie back. McKenzie able to slip it behind the net. That off in the left wing corner. Crawford feeds forward, but dropped back once again in the corner and slipped around behind to the other side for McKenzie. Long pass forward, but not out of the zone. The Hammers now will bring it away and out to center ice. Top the right wing, continuing forward in over the blue line. Weaving away out top, feed forward, but blocked away on the backboards and in the corner. Tardif after it. Turns in behind. Lays it there in the backboards. Veroni spins it around. And it's played through. And now at center ice, here come the Monsters again. Cleared along the near side. Stopping in the sideboards is Lurg as he gets tied up and moving in. Crawford reaching for the puck and is able to send it behind his net for McKenzie. Brought away by the Hammers. Edman out of the reach of Gillies all the way down. And Gillies will take it away in the corner, trying to bring it out in front. He's wiped out. The net is pushed off the pins. And the whistle stops play. It'll face off coming up with now just 2.5 minutes to go in overtime.
Well, Gillies thought to surprise himself because he pinched the boards off. Lake Erie player tried to throw the puck back up the boards, and he gets it himself. You can see him pushing it through, getting pressure on, squeezes the board, hits a stick there, and kicks it up to it, but he's down. He lost real estate by kicking it up to the stick, but he had to, and Hunwick just takes him out to the net, and he winds up striding into it, dislodging the net, and the whistles will go, and the face-off stays to the left of Calvin Pickard.
And as he went down, Gillies' stick came up and clipped Hunwick across the nose. Looked like he might have gotten cut there. Face-off in the Lake Erie zone off in the corner. Turned off the backboards. It'll be brought away. Up ice, here come the Monsters. Wide to the right side. Remember now, ordinarily by this time they would have cleaned the ice. It would have been starting, but we've gotten the extra couple of minutes here without an ice clean. Long shot in. That off the stick of Hackett coming down the corner. Ruedel draws it behind his net for Gauthier Leduc. Turns away out the near side, brings it forward up the right wing. Head to center ice at the red line. Slips it in, but that's knocked down and taken away by Lake Erie. Out to center ice. As going down, Ruedel gets back up in time. They're down the zone and back for it. Here comes Lake Erie again. Up the right wing and entering the Hammer zone. Rolls to the corner. Ruedel back. Trying to get away. Is this pulled out of the sideboards and back in the point area. Still kept in. That's stolen away, but now out over the line, the Hammers have it. Turning back forward in his own blue line. It's carried forward by Veroni, turns up the left wing. In over the line, takes a long shot. And off the stick of Pickard coming down in the corner. Reaching in for it, Tardif in behind that. Nifty stick handling. Trying to pull it out in front. They poke at the puck. And it's loose in front and carried away. Off ice, Lurg working wide on the left. A minute 20 to go in overtime. Now behind the net comes out of the near wing, back at the point. And dumped in the backboards once again. In the corner. Cycled off in the corner boards. Watching on. There's Crawford. There's back on top. And the shot. He goes by. Comes down the corner. Bagnall after it.
1 minute, 13.
As he ties up in the corner. We're down to a minute to go in the period. And brought away out of the corner by Porter. Works his way up ice. Porter on the right wing side. In the zone along the board. Take advantage. Feed in front across the goal mouth. And unable to reach it is Porter. At the point area. It's carried ahead by Lake Erie over the line to center ice. Monsters on the attack. Dumped in on the left wing side and rolls to the corner. He's after by Crawford. Knocks it down, but the Monsters get to it again. Spinning in the corner is Ellis trying to get away. Smith makes that rather, and around the near side, Smith still turning in the corner. Looking to get away from Ruedel. Finally goes down, and the puck tipped to the point, but not out. It's shot behind the Hammers net. Back goes Crawford. Now behind his net has it. Reversing it in behind again. As he gets wiped out. And it's carried away by the Amerks. Pass ahead, Zigomanis turns it off in over the line. Veroni reaching back for the puck. Stick handling's all by himself. That's Lucen on the far side. Poked at in the air, and it comes out over the line to center ice, or actually ends up and out of play. We're down to just now 2 seconds to go in overtime as we'll be getting ready. It looks like to head for the shootout.
I definitely think that's where we're heading, to the shootout. They've got the Zambonis ready, and you can see the smoke coming out of them. And they're warming them up and getting ready to clean this ice with 1.8 seconds left on the clock. The face-off outside the blue line. I doubt we're going to see a goal here, but you never know.
Now the puck is dropped, and this will draw the shootout as the horn sounds. So we never thought for a while we were going to be here, but we've gone through overtime, heading to the shootout tonight. And through overtime, this game is all even up at 4 apiece. As once again, Rick just mentioned that the Zambonis will be coming out, they'll be clearing the ice, and we'll be going into the shootout for the Amerks. They've had a couple of games decided in the shootout, while the Lake Erie Monsters have had 3 decided in the shootout. As Coach Cassidy will select his players, as will Coach Shootout, for who's going to be taking the shots. Even up at 4, this is the Amerks Broadcast Network. Well, we do know that each team is going to come up with at least 1 point here tonight. As this game goes to the shootout, the big question now is which team comes up with the second point, and every point is so important in this division.
Well, you know, the way they clean the ice here, they just do a spot down the middle. Some of these guys like to go way out wide and come in. I don't think you're going to see that because they run the risk of snow plowing the puck out there, and that's what's going to make it bobble and bounce off the stick. So as they redo some repairs to the net in the Rochester end, as we said, we had the issue before with the net coming off its moorings a lot, and that's the end where the Zamboni enters and exits. So there's a little more care taken there as Matt Hackett cleans up his crease a little bit. As we get ready, Lake Erie will be shooting first.
That's just a dry scrape of the ice, right? They don't put water down, do they?
I do believe it's just a dry scrape because they can't wait for it to for the water to dry. But you know, goaltenders like the snow because what it does is it slows them down. They go across from one side to the other on their pads coming across. So they'll slide right out of the net. So they like to rough it up a little bit, get a little snow in there a little bit. Not too much, but just enough.
Here comes the first shooter. This is over. He's 0 for 2 in the season. A left-handed shot working right up the slot, moving in, backhander, and he is stopped. As Hackett might have got the glove on that one.
Coming out, I can't see who that is coming out. Coming in, you can see him. He tries to go around, goes to the backhand, but Hackett comes over the left and deflects it with the arm.
It'll be Rochester shooting next. Have you picked up that number yet?
I think it's Tardif, isn't it?
Looks like Tardif. Gary's in wide on the left side, moving in, backhander, but that misses.
Yeah, Tardif he goes to the backhand. He gets denied as well. You can see him coming in. The right shot comes in. Looking as gets closer as he tries to take it to the side and brings it through. Actually tried to go 5-hole and gets poke checked.
Smith is next up. Right-handed shot moving in, slows it up, puts on the brake, shoots, and scores.
Smith comes in and he almost comes to a complete stop, which you cannot do. He just keeps coasting gradually towards the net. You'll see him come here as he comes in with a little bit of speed. Now all of a sudden the puck starts bobbling. He stops, holds it, gets it under control, and then goes bottom corner.
As we get set, the next Rochester shooter moving in on goal. Tried to tuck it in. No, that was stopped. Well, I never did see who that was. Did you? Yeah, that's Armia.
Armia comes in, tries to make a nice little move there, but he gets denied. Tries to come back against the grain. Throw goes one way, tries to throw it in short side. Almost goes under the pad, but Prickard gets it down.
Looks like we have Lurg up next. The shooter moves in again. He puts on the brakes, moving in, stick handling back and forth. And the puck is, no, that's wide.
I thought the referee pointed it toward the net.
Did he say it was a goal?
The referee on the one side pointed towards the goal. He comes in, he stops. This seems to be the thing to do here. Stop, stick handle, and he goes around. And he puts it in.
Yeah, he did score. So now it's 2-0. And the Amerks have the next shooter, and this will be Veroni. As he brings it forward, Veroni has to pretty much score here. Moves in, stick handle, shoots.
He gets denied, tries to take the shot. As, again, watching to see what happens here. He comes in all alone. Veroni comes in, the left shot, looking head up. Tries to find something, tries to make a move, hits that right toe.
So Muirs is the next shooter, and he can put it away here. Right-handed shoot moving in, and that's a pad save.
Mears gets denied. He takes the shot. Very similar to what Veroni did here, but ends out coming in.
Amherst have to score now as Lake Erie leading the shootout 2-0.
Now that puck bobbled just a little bit on him, and coming up for this shot will be Zigomanis.
Zigomanis, a right-handed shooter, as the Amherst have to score the next two. Zigomanis in, stops, throws up, puts the brakes on, shoots, and scores.
Zigomanis pulls a little Lake Erie as he stops out in front and kind of freezes Pickard, and he ends up putting it on the top side there to the right shot comes in. You see him hit the brake, stop, now looking, goes up off the arm and in.
So now the Monsters with a chance to win it, as it's brought forward by Cheek. Left-handed shot, missed the net. And so now the pressure is on as the Amherst have to score on this one.
Now Cheek comes in, the left shot, tries to fake it, but goes off the right side of Hackett into the corner. And we've got, is this Crawford?
Larson. He's the next shooter, moving in, shoots, scores! It's all tied up.
Larson ties this up. He picks up the foot, takes the shot, and finds the back of the net coming in. You can see him here. There goes the foot, and there goes the shot. And you can tell right now that Pickard wasn't too happy not making that save. It's all tied up at 2 apiece. As now in there, it will be Agostino.
He's been the thorn in the side all night long. Works in wide on the right side, shoots, and missed the net. So the Amherst with an opportunity here, as it's all even up.
Agostino coming in, the left shot. You can see here, nice camel angle, tries to go there. The left pad kicked out by Hackett. Nice save.
Picking up the shooter, it's Ellis. Ellis, who scored the first goal of the night, can finish it. Brings it in, shoots. Is it in?
Yes,
it is. He scores. The shootout victory for Matt Ellis puts it away as the Amherst come back from behind and end up winning this game in the shootout.
Matt Ellis scores the first and the last goal of this game as there's snowballs being thrown in the air by the fans as they were treated to one great game here and a great effort by both teams. Rochester victorious 5-4 after overtime and a shootout.
Well, such a glorious event as it is here, only fitting that it should be finished in such dramatic fashion as the Amherst trailed at 3-1 back in the second period, came back, tied it up, and then took the lead 4-3. The Monsters then tied it up with 1/10 of a second remaining in regulation. We went through overtime into the shootout, and the Amherst are victorious in the shootout on a goal by Matt Ellis. The Amherst win the shootout 3-2 and therefore win the game 5-4. So a great affair comes to an end here tonight, and the Amherst pick up the 2 points.